Hello and welcome back to Attorney of the Arcane, where, and this is why updating anything tends to mess with me, because for some reason updating my key binding so I could have extra. I'm running out of keys, so I got this one to be Angie. The game did this. I think it might be too intense of a head tilt, but yeah. I'm running out of keys, and that means I start mixing them up on accident. We were here. Yes. Attorney? Yes! We're being law people. In fact, it is time for the trial. So, we might have a little bit of an issue. There are some details that aren't very good for our case. Who's on trial? A schoolboy who studies necromancy, but that's because necromancy in this world also includes like healing. So all healing magic is necromancy, but he's like studying it because he wants better healing spells, but also someone died and they're accusing him. And it looks like a certain spell was used that he has, and it's not good for our case. So just take deep breaths and relax. Thanks, Gabe. I needed that. Hi, Tyron. She is the first person we helped in the previous chapter, and now she's our bodyguard. Celeste? Don't sneak up on me like that. Why are you so nervous? It's not as if this is your first time defending someone. Cute. Yeah, the art is super cute and the music is super cute and it's awesome. I can't help it. There's something about this building that just fills me with anxiety. You're a defense attorney, buddy. Ow, that is not good. This is where you're supposed to be working. It's too bad Ruby couldn't make it. I'd say that you should calm down for Wallace's sake, but... There are so many people here! Well, then you should still calm down, because he's not calm. And they're all staring at me! Well, you are on trial. Also, he's 16. Poor guy. Their eyes are prying into me like a pack of flesh-eating maggots. Buddy, are you okay? Well, actually, no, don't answer that. I know the answer is no, you're not. Gross. Don't worry. Oh, that's me. Don't worry, Wallace. Our investigation revealed a lot of weaknesses in the prosecution's case. Did it? We have a strong case for your acquittal. We do? Okay. See? You can be confident when you want to be. It's strange. Something is calming about Wallace's anxiety. He's being anxious for the two of us. He's being anxious enough for both. It's like he just absorbs the tension out of you and into himself. Poor guy. Court is now in session of the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready. Very well, let's begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwind, could you please list the charges? Rabble, 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 rabble. Yes. The defendant is a student at the Wingard Imperial Academy. So look at these ages. Everyone is so young. It's like, guys, you don't usually get it. I mean, I get it's for the story, but 18? Mr. Nightgraves is charged with first-degree murder, negligent misuse of the arcane arts, and illegal practice of advanced necromancy. Necromancy? Oh, even he doesn't know that's also the healing magic in this world. Do you mean to tell me that the defendant is a necromancer? Oh, here we go. I don't have an eye roll. I have concern, I have anger, and I have declare now. I need an eye roll at this point, if you're gonna be this... can't believe it. A necromancer in this day and age? Yo! Just judgmental jerks. How could the kingdom let this happen? And y'all need better education. This kingdom is clearly lacking in education about magics, because necromancy is also what is healing. Your Honor, I would like to remind the court that I should view my client objectively. Oh, of course, but one can easily see it from the list of charges. I am about to throw something to your judgmental head. The guy is 18, I haven't even spoken. And you're all like, oh, necromancer. Yo, aren't you supposed to get some kind of briefing beforehand on like knowledge that you need for being like accurate? And I think an important part of that knowledge is that healing magic is also necromancy. If you go to your doctor, they're also a necromancer in this world. You jerks. No wonder they are so uneducated, they start their jobs at 18. Yeah, the only problem is that the 18-year-old person there and the 20-year-old defense attorney are so far one of the few intelligent people that are around there. So, like, it's not the age at which they start their job, clearly. Necromancy plays a large role in the charges. Indeed, the crime occurred within the academy this morning. The victim is Catherine Bellwether, a professor at the school. I'd say, God rest her soul, but she was an absolute bitch. Because man, she was a jerk. Still, it's not right, but she had it coming. Although there were no witnesses, traces of necromancy were detected on the body, which can also be caused by someone attempting to heal her, but that's not something we're gonna tell. Furthermore, the autopsy report shows that the body has no physical wounds, which would happen if you heal someone. I see. Necromancy is the only type of magic that can harm an individual without physically wounding them. And that's their angle, which is kind of bad for me, because our guy does have a spell like that. Additionally, the alchemist report shows no sign of poison or disease. Therefore, one can only conclude that the necromancer had committed the crime. As many of you know, necromancy is held under high scrutiny by the crown. Yeah, you don't have to tell me. Aside from the defendant, no other students were permitted to learn advanced necrotic magic. As such, the defendant was the only mage in that building capable of committing the murder. I see, that is certainly compelling evidence. To properly present our case, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand. Hello, detective, who has a bias against all mages. Commander White, please testify to the court about the Inquisition's findings. I think I gave her a lower voice before. I don't have a very big vocal range. I mean, it also means that he might have tried to save the victim after the murder. Yeah, only he wasn't... See, he actually has an alibi. He was in the library with us. we lost sight of him for like 5 minutes. And also there was a giant lockdown. He literally has an alibi, but that doesn't count. Yeah. It started when the City Watch got a call from Imperial Academy. Someone was attacked, and the whole building was put in lockdown. We set up a perimeter around the area and waited for the lockdown system to deactivate. That's silly. It is. They're saying that 5 minutes would have been enough, which still seems unlikely that nobody would have seen him in those 5 minutes going back and forth from the library to murderize someone. When we finally got in the building, the prosecutor personally inspected the body and detected traces of necromancy on it. There were no cuts or bruises on the body either. The entire body was clean. With those 2 pieces of evidence, we concluded that it could only be the necromancer kid that did it. Inquisition's testimony is just as you expected. You've already found and identified the holes in Steelwind's case. We have? I mean, I guess we have, but all you have to do is find that hole in the commander's testimony. Mr. Kubert, you may begin your cross-examination. Still, their points do make sense. How would the victim have died without any wounds? See, the thing is that you can technically heal a body after they've passed, which would erase all wounds on them. And when we did the examination of the crime scene, there was blood below the body, which would be very strange, considering the body had no wounds. So it's more logical to assume the body had a wound and then got healed by someone maybe panicking and trying to heal someone they thought wasn't dead yet. But that's only possible using necromancy, no? Yeah, no, what they're going after is this very specific necromancy spell that quote-unquote drains the life of the victim without leaving any wounds. What we're going after is saying someone stabbed this person and then someone else tried to heal them, which would also read as necromancy. But it having nothing to do with this guy that does have the spell that could technically murderize someone without inflicting any physical wounds. What time did this call come in? A little after 3 PM. It was a few minutes after the murder was discovered. Right, you remember that was around the time the lockdown occurred. Right, lockdown can't be ended manually, so they must have been forced to wait 1 hour duration to elapse. How secure was this parameter? So other people know necromancy, it's just not that. Yeah, exactly, necromancy in this case isn't only I raise the dead and I kill you, it's also I heal your wounds. Is it possible that someone slipped past you? The Inquisition was working in conjunction with the City Watch and the King's Guard. With that many people at the scene, it's very unlikely that anyone escaped unnoticed. True, for better or for worse, the kingdom will act quickly to protect a building filled with nobles. I should have made that more clear. Yeah, you learn that in the first part of this chapter, but if you're jumping halfway through, that would be a little confusing. Why did the prosecutor inspect the body instead of the Inquisition? Well, I conducted the investigations irrelevant to the proceedings. Or would you like to insinuate that I'm not as competent as Commander White? No, I think you're more competent. But obviously the prosecution wouldn't do it exactly. You don't question her competency, but it's still a bizarre decision on her part. While the court admits the prosecutor's actions are unorthodox, we see no reason to question the prosecutor's ability. Thank you, Your Honor. How carefully was the body checked? Perhaps the prosecution missed something. The coroner couldn't find even the smallest cut, bruise, or fracture on the body. And the alchemist's report showed no signs of poison or disease. The coroner was actually astounded at how unscathed the body was. That makes sense. If someone had used mend wounds on the body, it would have healed even the most minor of injuries. The question is, how do you prove that? Yeah. And the prosecution believes that my client used necrotic blood. Yep, that's the only way the crime scene makes any sense, except for the blood. Ignore the blood part, but I guess you guys aren't gonna tell them, so I will. Necrotic blind? I'm afraid I've never heard of this spell before. Oh, Your Honor objects, this is bad for my case. Necrotic blind is a spell that drains the life force from its target. When used on a living human, it makes their bodily function cease, instantly killing them. I see. What a horrible spell. A child should have never been allowed to learn something like that. Oops. What were they thinking? Having that spell is not doing all us any favors. Already investigate the crime scene? So we know that the Inquisition's theory contradicts one of the clues that we found. Right, all I have to do is present. Yeah. So, the entire body was clean. I would say that goes against the bloodstains under the body. Objection! Commander White, it appears you've neglected to mention one key detail of the crime scene. Yeah, and what's that? During your testimony, you said that the entire body was clean. I will admit that there weren't any wounds on the body. However, the body was certainly not clean. At the scene of the crime, there was a large pool of blood located where the body was. This blood came from the victim's body, and it was definitely not clean like the commander testified. I'm sorry, Mr. Kubert, but I fail to see the significance of this. I'd like to remind the court of the prosecution's case against my client. They are accusing him of murdering the victim using necrotic blight, a spell which would not have physically wounded the victim. So why was there any blood at all? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The fact still stands, there were no wounds on the body, nor were there any reports of poison or disease on the autopsy. There are clearly magical elements in this case. But Catherine Bellwether was bleeding profusely at some point. How else would there be bloodstains on the body? Do you have an explanation for that, Mrs. Steelwind? Because we do. No, I'll admit that the prosecution doesn't have an explanation for that. And while I do find the circumstances questionable, all other evidence clearly points to the defendant. Which spell would it leave a trace of necromancy? There we go. If the victim wasn't killed with necromancy, why was there a trace of it on the body? Someone healed them. I'm glad you asked. I'd like to present a spell that could have left a trace of necromancy on the body. Mend wounds. Mend wounds? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that a healing spell? That's correct, Your Honor. Spells from the School of Necromancy can control the forces of death and life. Mend wounds is in fact a necromancy spell. Really now? I wasn't aware of this. And you should probably have been informed of that, along with the entire jury. And also a better education system wouldn't be bad. Would probably be helpful. Now, I'd like the court to consider the following. What would happen if Bellwether was wounded and someone attempted to heal her using mend wounds? All of her wounds would disappear from her body. I see.
Objection!
Do you honestly think that I'm that incompetent, Mr. Qbert? They probably should have been informed of that in first grade. Yeah, they probably should have, but as things stand, most doctor mages don't even tell people that technically mend wounds is necromancy because there's such a bias against it. This entire world is very corrupt. The entire jury, it's a corrupt, it'd be corrupt, it'd not be good, it'd be weird. Frankly, I'm a little insulted. What? The Inquisition is well aware of what happens when a mage attempts to save a victim using mend wounds. Oh, yeah, this is something we wouldn't know. The healers that arrived at the scene already confirmed that the victim was long dead. None of them attempted to heal her. Well, what if someone tried to heal her and didn't report it? Please, none of the healers would have anything to gain by doing so. They're assuming that there's no mage... Yes, this building full of mages, mage students, and nobody would have possibly tried to heal this teacher. I mean, even if nobody's admitting to it, like, come on. In fact, as a necromancer, the defendant could have easily carried out the described scenario. Shit. Objection, this is bad for my case. He could have cast mend wounds on the victim after murdering her to confound the investigation. At the end of the day, the burden of proof is on you. But if you could just find out who healed the body, this case is yours. Which I think we did, because we found that one of the kitchen maid people probably is a mage. And whoever this healer is, Valentina definitely knows her. It's probably her sister. Your Honor, I will admit that I don't have any evidence to support my theory. However, I do believe that we can bring it to light. There may have been two people that witnessed someone cast magic on the body. Valentina and Valerie Janus, the sisters who discovered the body. Oh, can we call them? This is nonsense. We've already questioned those two witnesses extensively. If they had witnessed something like that, it would have come up in their testimony. If that's true, then you have nothing to lose by hearing their testimonies. Very well. If you're so confident, let's hear the witness testimony. It seems the prosecution has no objections. However, if this line of questioning leads nowhere, I will see no reason to further prolong this trial. Do you understand, Mr. Qbert? Of course, Your Honor. She's like, Brad, it's that guy from before. Is he the necromancer's lawyer? Also, she's such a cute design. They both have their twins. They have very similar looks, but they're twins. But identical twins, I assume. She just got on the stand and she's already stressed out. This could work in your favor. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. My name. Witness, there's no need to be so nervous. We merely want to hear about what you saw the day of the murder. Right, it's just that guy over there, he... You mean Mr. Kubert? This man harassed you, witness. Is this thought system different than the real one? They assume guilt rather than innocence. Yeah, pretty much. Also, one moment my cat wants out of my room. I think I'm being too loud for her. She's like, I just want to sleep. Yeah. Okay, back. Are you familiar with Ace Attorney? Because this is basically like it's based off that in a way. It's like an homage to it. It's like, yeah, we like those games, and now we're making a game like it, but set in like a magical world. But it borrows a lot from that. But they explain the way the court system works with it being very corrupt. So that's why there's so little time to investigate. And that's why you have to basically prove that it was someone else instead of having to just, or at least so far, have to prove it's someone else just to get people to consider that it might not have been your client. Which, I mean, it makes a lot more sense in yeah, the system is kind of corrupt, because the only people that go on trial for magical, it just notes the burden of proof is different than real life is all. Yeah, it is very different. Wait a minute. Yeah. Hey! He, like, super harassed me. Hey! Rude, I did not. How shameful. I would expect a member of our justice system behave more professionally. This is no laughing matter. Oh, shut up. Anyways, please state your name and occupation for the court, Miss Janus. Just calm down, he can't prove anything. My name is Valentina Janus. I'm a member of the kitchen staff at Wyvern Imperial Academy. As I recall, you were one of the witnesses who discovered the body. Apparently, the defense finds your involvement suspect. Ah, shoot. I like her hair. She has such pretty hair. Also, the way they draw the clothing folds in this game is really good. I'm very in love with this art style. Rest assured, Miss Janus. In this courtroom, you will be protected from Mr. Hubert's harassment. Now, please testify to the court on what happened that day. Yeah. I was walking with my sister in the West Wing when we noticed something in a nearby classroom. Hello, Yobot. Study shows that people that have pretty hair are murderers. Well, she isn't a murderer, she's just hiding that her sister is a mage. Or, well, I assume it's her sister. It would make very little sense that they're hiding someone else being a mage, unless it's the janitor. Or someone that we haven't met yet. Like a last minute, oh, it was this person all along. He usually isn't very good. We looked over to see what it was. That's when we saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. Oh, interesting. So she was bleeding in her testimony, which would contradict the fact that she had no wounds after. My sister tried her best to help her, but the professor had already lost a lot of blood. While my sister did that, I used an emergency communication device to call for help. But it was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she'd already lost too much blood. Did the victim have pretty hair? No, the victim was a teacher, which... I mean, all the hair was drawn pretty, but no, I don't recall her hair being specifically pretty. The only thing that's sad is that she had an owl necklace and she was really mean. It's like, how dare you betray the owl like this? If your theory is true, that means she just lied in her testimony. She's definitely holding something back. She definitely saw more than she's letting on. You just need to prove that somehow. Mr. Cuber, you may begin your cross-examination. Did you notice anything else strange in the lecture hall? Well, there was that terrible smell. It was awful. I almost couldn't see because of how much I was staring up. But other than that, I was mostly focused on the professor. Makes sense, it would be hard to notice anything else. She tried to help her? Miss Janus, how exactly did your sister try to help Miss Bellwater? What? Oh, my sister used first aid to try and stop the bleeding. I see. Could you please add that detail to your testimony? Smell? Yeah, there was a stink bomb. Well, not really. There was a alchemical accident in that lecture hall earlier that week, or earlier, like, recently, and the janitor hadn't cleaned it up yet. So it's unrelated to the case at this point. We know what caused it and that it was present at that moment. Yeah, sure. Your sister knows how to use a first aid kit. Is that why the building was locked down? No, the building was locked down because they called in that there was a death. So she used an emergency communicator, and then the headmaster, having heard the emergency communicator, used the emergency lockdown, which cannot be reversed for 1 hour, like after it goes in. So every room or every section was in a separate lockdown for that 1 hour. So nobody could have gone in and out of the building, and that's why they had to surround it and wait. Yeah, it was covered in our training when we first started working. With all the nobles around, I guess the headmaster wants to make sure we were prepared. While my sister did that, I used an emergency communicator device to call for help. A device? It's an artificery device that allows for long-range communication. Some of those devices are placed around the school for use during an emergency. I see. So who did you contact? I wasn't sure, honestly. I could hear a lot of people talking on the other end. That particular device broadcast to the headmaster's office and the City Watch barracks. I imagine that's why the headmaster was able to activate the lockdown so quickly. Oh wait, that's a lower voice. I'm keeping the voices straight is hard. I see. But it was too late. By the time her bleeding stopped, she already lost too much blood. I see, that must have been a difficult experience for both of you. It was especially hard on my sister. I think she blames herself for not being able to save her. Oh. We didn't like Professor Bellwether, but we still didn't want her to die. She seems sincere when she says that. And you don't see any dissonant thoughts around the eye, through the eye either. We have a special ability called the Eye of Horus. Nobody knows about it. It can't be registered by the magic books that people have to carry. So there's special magic book things that if a mage connects with it, will show all the spells they know, and that's what we use in court. But the Eye of Horus that we have is a supernatural ability that is not detected. Honestly, her testimony makes a lot of sense. It's hard to figure out which part she might be lying about. There has to be a contradiction here somewhere. The theory is that Valentina saw someone use meant wounds on Bellwether. You should focus on the statements that describe how they both interacted with her. It's basically like the magic thingy in Ace Attorney. I don't know, I haven't... So I really like the Ace Attorney games, but I only had the first game on my DS. That's not the Eye of Horus. Well, in this game, that's what it's called. Also, hello, Will. Hello, the Egyptology nerd is here. Well, could you inform us what the Eye of Horus is usually? Because a lot of games, like I remember in Sims, there's also an Eye of Horus that'll just allow you to find, like, flipping, what's the word? Just like objects better, like collectibles, that's the word. But words. I was thinking something else. Yeah, I had Ace Attorney on the DS, but I only had the first one, and then I bought it on the PC to like play through the entire thing. But the art style change really threw me off because they tried to put everything in HD, but I personally really like the pixel art style. So I've only recently been like going through it again, just wanting to know the entire story. So I don't know all of the magic things in Ace Attorney, so don't spoil it too much. So this is clearly not correct. I'm gonna... just in case I mess up, and I don't know how many attempts we have here, so I want to save. Just in case I mess up, I don't have to redo a bunch of stuff. I don't know everything either, no worries. Okay, so we're going to present, and then... oh, also this is Bellwether, or at least a portrait. I don't think we can see the full portrait, but I think this would contradict her using first aid because that wouldn't close all of her wounds now, would it? Objection! Yeah, there we go. Witness, what is the meaning of this? What? Why are you looking at me like that? Maybe I can elaborate, Miss Janus. You weren't present in the gallery earlier, were you? No, I was waiting in the lobby. Lady Steelwind told me to wait there. Well, I suppose I should consider myself lucky. You see, Miss Janus, one key element of the case is that the body didn't have any wounds on it. Yeah, so? So please explain to the court, Miss Janus. How did Valerie apply first aid when there shouldn't have been any wounds on the body? Ah, no, I screwed up. What? I saw that wound on her. What happened? There's clearly something amiss here, but I'm afraid I don't fully understand the implications of this. Are you accusing the witness of committing perjury, Mr. Kubert? When someone lies, they stay as close to the truth as possible while changing minute details, if they're smart about it, that is. In her thoughts, Valentina said that she was sure that she saw a wound on Bellwether. And she also mentioned that Valerie was the one that tried to save the professor. If she didn't try to save Bellwether with first aid, could she have used magic instead? The thing we've been speculating about. Her sister could be the mage that you're looking for. The witness was lying, Your Honor, but not about everything. Valerie Janus did try to save the victim's life by addressing her wounds. But she didn't use first aid, she used magic. No, you found out? Objection! I'm sorry, Mr. Kubert, but your theory is completely flawed. How so, Miss Steelwind? Well, it's quite simple. We've already verified that neither of the sisters are mages. What? Wait, how can you be so sure? During the investigation, we had both the Janus sisters attuned to spell compendium. It's standard procedure for the Inquisition when interviewing witnesses. Then that means... That's correct. Neither of the Janus sisters could attune to compendium. Ah, that's right, the Inquisition checked us both. Or she switched places with her sister, considering they're identical twins. They might have just checked one sister twice. Neither of us are mages. Oh, that was so close. Damn it, where were you wrong about Valerie being a mage then? No, that can't be right. No, he found us out. Bertolt said he found us out. That means that you were on the right track. Valerie has to be the mage you're looking for. Celeste, is it possible for a mage to hold a spell compendium and avoid attuning to it? No, it just needs to be on their person. When I was arrested, the Inquisition also made me attune to one of their spell compendiums. They were really careful to make sure that I did the attunement correctly. Wait, I thought you could only attune to one at once. Oh, hello, Ghostbat. How are you doing? There's no way a mage could avoid attuning to a companion with them watching you. Right. Commander White may be negligent sometimes, but even he isn't that careless. Now if you're done, I do believe that you've exhausted all your options. Wait, I'm still not done cross-examining this witness. What could you possibly hope to glean for a testimony? Valentina should be stressed and out enough to see more of her thoughts. But you can't exactly say that you're planning to read her mind. There's one key element of her testimony that the court is overlooking. I have a right as an attorney to complete my cross-examination. Your Honor, the defense is clearly trying to buy time. I might be compelled to agree with you. However, I'll also admit that some elements of the witness testimony are quite peculiar. I will allow the defense to perform one more cross-examination. That was close. But know that this is your last chance, Mr. Kubert. If you produce nothing substantial, I will pass my verdict. Of course, Your Honor. Alright, it's all or nothing. If you can't find anything by reading her mind, this whole case is finished. Witness, please give your testimony once more. Okay. Damn it, how long does he plan to keep me up here? Like I said, my sister and I saw Miss Bellwether bleeding on the ground. We rushed over to her. I was definitely surprised when I saw her like that. Now that you mention it, I don't know if I saw any wounds on her, but I definitely saw blood. I can't go back to that now. I can't go back on that now. I just need to play dumb. My sister tried to save her, but she didn't use any magic. Valerie, you're too kind-hearted for your own good. Neither of us are mages. Both of us held that book the knights gave us. I was called off guard and they asked us. They almost found us out. The commander was watching us the whole time. He can't confirm it. It's a good thing that we're twins, or else that trick wouldn't have worked. Haha, so it is because they're identical twins. Hello, Ten! How are you doing? It's good to see you. Guys, last night Ten gave me the most awesomest of gifts that I can't show you right now because I need to set it up, but Ten is really, really cool. So, like, yeah. I had a feeling too, like, you can't just throw identical twins in a murder mystery situation and not have them use their identical twinness for some shenanigans. Although, I suppose it might be, considering their hair is red, it could also have been the most excellent of red herrings. Like, I mean, it might feel like a bit of a cop-out, but it could be kind of neat to have, like, identical twins in a story that look identical and then just not have it be used. Although I guess it would be kind of like having Chekhov's gun and it's not like being used, which would maybe, like, if you don't play it right, it would just feel frustrating. But if you do it right, it might be like if people in universe assume that they use their identicalness to mess with the system, but then they actually didn't, and I have to prove that, no, wait, actually, we didn't switch places. That could be neat. The Eye of Horus is essentially a protective charm. The eye doesn't help you see better, it's watching over you and making sure everything is alright. Hence a lot of ancient Egyptian art would use it as decoration and was common motive for amulets. In the myth, Horus gave up one of his eyes to his father, Osiris, to resurrect him, and this it's associated with healing, protection, and religious offerings. I see. Lastly, and this part will probably interest you, it can also be used as a representation of the moon. Ah, yes, everything comes back to the moon, as it should be. Sorry that took a while, I want to fact check myself first. No, I appreciate it. It's always good to fact check, and I did get into Egyptian mythology for a little bit, because I mean, all the Egyptian mythology books, at least like just the ones that you see in the library, they're gold and shiny. Like, come on. You can't not open the gold and shiny book. But I didn't really, like... I only recall the general stuff from it. So I know, like, who Horus is, who Osiris is, and generally how to pronounce their names. But I don't know the intricate details. What are we going to do? they have pretty hard proof that Valerie isn't a mage. Valerie is the mage we're looking for. I'm sure of it. I'm just not sure why they felt the need to lie to the Inquisition. And more importantly, how did they trick the Inquisition? Ancient Egyptians loved their shinies, and their suns and moons. Didn't we all have a dinosaur face, an Egyptian mythology face, and an astronomy face? Yeah, also a Greek mythology face. Like, at the very least, you either had an Egyptian or a Greek mythology face, but I mean, let's be real, you probably had both. Also, a Norse mythology face? Like, mythologies are interesting. Also, this is new to us. Let's just save. I don't know how much leeway for messing up I have, and in these games, if I can easily save before doing stuff, I'd rather do that instead of having to redo a bunch. Okay. Press. Okay. I see. Sounds like you're backtracking on your previous testimony. I'm not. I just assumed that she was wounded because of all the blood. How was I supposed to know that someone closed her wounds? Her thoughts imply that she's lying, but her logic is sound. You'll need to look at her older statements and the thoughts that accompany them. Yeah, so this is clearly... Objection! Your Honor, the witness testimony contradicts what she's truly... What? Wait, hold up, what? You didn't tell me that's what you were going to do. Take back your words. That wasn't what I was intending. I just never quite left those phases. I could talk your ear off about Norse mythology in particular. With Egyptian stuff, I probably know more about the society and the culture than the myths themselves. That's a bit, yeah. The fact that the music, usually in Ace Attorney, you know you've done it right when there's a musical change. In this case, I think we did it wrong. I'm sorry, I fail to see how the witness statement contradicts anything. You'll have to trust me, Your Honor. No, stop, cease. Cancel, undo, Control Z. Don't want this. Hubert, get back into your box. I have an instinct for this. No, stop. Stop, cease, please. Eject, cancel. Mr. Hubert, your instincts do not make for concrete evidence. I'm so glad nobody here is taking him seriously. I can't believe I have to explain this to you. He's so silly. Right. Well, you can't exactly say you can see her thoughts. You nearly... Okay. We were just stupid, but we aren't being hit with like... the consequences for that. That's the one thing in both Ace Attorney 2. Sometimes if you misinterpret like what you're supposed to do, and you're like, oh, I'm pressing here, or I'm objecting to this, your guy will just stumble and be foolish and like, no, wait, please, this is painful. I don't have a face palmy thing, but it's like, no, stop. She didn't use any magic. I don't know. She might have been looking for an open wound to apply first aid to. But if we assume that you're telling the truth, there wouldn't be any wounds to find. My client would have already closed them to confound the investigation. Is this your first real case? In this game, no, the prior case was technically our first real case, but that was like the tutorial case. So there was still a lot of explanation going on. This is the first. You have to completely find it out in your own. Yeah, like we're not getting as many tutorial snippets. Maybe they're being lenient on you. Yeah, or the system is just different from Ace Attorney a little. Because to be fair, it is mainly story-ish thing, so it doesn't make sense you'd have to restart because you'd save anyway. So maybe they've just chosen in a game aspect to be like, yeah, no, it wouldn't make sense that if you make a mistake pressing here or doing this here that you'd be heavily penalized. Probably later on, story-wise, they'll say something like, hey, if you mess up here, you'll be I don't know. Because we did you can't get a guilty verdict. You can't just brute force your way through. I mean, I guess you could by trial and error, but that would take very long. One fun detail is that the ancient Egyptians used eyeliner not just to look pretty, but to help keep their eyes hydrated in the scorching sun. Huh. I didn't know that. How would that work? I'm telling you, I don't know. It's hard to work with her pleading ignorance of what happens. Maybe you should try looking at the thoughts of her other statements. Almost found us out. See, I don't know. See, I haven't had this interpret thing before, so I don't know. But I assume that this book was an unattuned spell companion. Yes, the Inquisition has a myriad of them. It's standard procedure to have witnesses attuned to them. But doesn't the kingdom require that mages register? Why don't you just cross-reference those records with the witness names? For whatever reason, many mages among the common folk dislike the concept of registering. As a result, many of them choose to hide their powers illegally. Oh. Also, they generally used wooden stands to rest their heads on instead of pillows, because that way it was less likely that vermin like scorpions would crawl up and poke them in the face while they said, oh. So that's why they used the wooden thingies. I knew about the wooden thingies, but I didn't know why. It always seemed very uncomfortable to me. But that makes sense. Although, it seems kind of weird for a scorpion to want to crawl up to the face. Like, wouldn't it stinging them anywhere be bad? Like, if they could get up to the face, couldn't they also just poke them in the shoulder if they rolled over for some reason? I mean, I'm not doubting that scorpions will get all up in their business. I've had spiders do that, and insects, like... And spiders are a little more, like... personal. They are better about giving you personal space. Insects, however... They don't care. No personal space for you. Uh-oh. That's probably what's going in. It's a good thing that they're twins. Did you pull some kind of trick to deceive the Inquisition whilst attuning Miss Giannis? Of course not! We know that lying to the Inquisition would get us in trouble. Why would either of us take a risk like that? Living as an unregistered mage is a serious crime. If Valerie was a mage, then you would have been charged with fraud right then and there. Well, it's probably less harmful that way or something. It's been a while since I read up on this, so I can't provide much detail, unfortunately. That's fair. It could also have just been that is what they believed, even though... Like, sometimes practices that aren't always actually that beneficial, it's just what they believed in at the time. So even if we're like, wait, that doesn't make sense, maybe to them it did. Yeah, but we already proved that neither of us are vicious. The eye seems to differ. Think through this isn't like a normal cross-examination. Nearly all of her thoughts will be suspicious and contrary to her testimony. What you need to do is find a thought that gives you a thread to pull on. In this case, you need to find a thought that implies how the twins tricked the commander. Okay, that's what they want me to do. Find a thought that holds the clue and interpret to proceed. I see. Okay. So that's the last one then. Or... no, the last one. Yeah, for instance, I'm not sure the eyeliner actually helped at all. And they definitely did some kooky stuff, like putting mice in their mouths to help with dental hygiene. They what? Hold up. They what? Hello, Evil Nala. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. Objection! Okay, this is one. Miss Giannis, your thoughts betray you. Buddy, Paul, friendo. I need a face balm. I need a face balm. Or an eye roll, or just a general... like... wants to prevent insects getting into their orifices in general. From what I just read in the last few minutes, like their nose mouth. Okay, yeah, that does make sense. There is a real issue with if you sleep like close to the ground, or I guess in unclean spaces, that insects like to crawl into bodily orifices because they're jerks and they have no like understanding of personal space. So there's like cases of people getting insects stuck in their ears, and it ain't good. It's very unpleasant, from at least what I've read. So makes sense. That tracks. If you can't prevent the insects from getting up in your bed space, then you can at least prevent them from getting up in your face. Because very little insects will like directly climb up like a stand thing. What? You found the doll. They must have done something, but what? They're identical twins. What could they have possibly done? Could it have been that they swapped places? Ooh. Have we heard this music before? I like... Ooh. I like this a lot. I'm slowly recovering from meltdown earlier, because dumb fire alarm was too much. Had crying meltdown in front of neighbors, and one of the little kids, first grader, had to help me by detouring me from unknowingly walking into the busy street. I was trying to get away from the fire. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm glad that there was someone there to help you. And yeah. Did the alarm stop? Are you in a safe place now? This stream is a little more intense than usual. I think I'd still be calm, but it might not be as calm as always. So if you were coming here for calm vibes, I do tend to like try and emote what the characters are saying, which means that I'm speaking a little more intensely. So if that's not something you can handle right now, well, I just want to give you a heads up, because well, I want you to be able to like actually calm down and recover, and if someone is excitedly yelling in your ear, that might not help. The alarm stopped, or I wouldn't be able to be in my room, but now I'm terrified it's going to go off again. I understand. Man, I wish I could help, but I don't think there is. Well, no, I want to help people. Maybe what'll help is thinking about what you'll do if it happens again. Doesn't mean it will, but now you can just... If you know what you have to do when the thing happens, then maybe it won't be as scary anymore. It's like 6 feet from my window. Oh, that is loud. Hi, old friend. I come bearing shinies and headbands. Okay. Well, I'll allow the headbands because you have shinies to offer me. Yeah, Ivanala, Gosh. Last time you knew to get outside and you knew maybe where to walk. So, if it does happen again, you can just repeat those actions. Even if it isn't pleasant, you know what to do. And you know it'll stop. Hopefully it won't go off again, and you'll be able to calm. Yeah, I wish I could help more than that. Just, yeah. As Ella said, try to stay hydrated, and I don't know, I'm gonna end up having another meltdown. Try fleeing to a place without people or sound. I don't recognize cars as people, so I just walk right to the street. Ah, I see, yeah. Maybe... Is there a place that you could think of now that you could head to instead? So you have a place in mind where you want to head to that you know is safe, whilst you right now aren't panicking. So then when something bad happens, you can just be like, okay, I have to head there. Maybe that'll help? Let's see, in rest of chat. I remember a story about a schizophrenic man who believed there was something in his ear getting a wasp stuck in there. So when he called for help, they didn't believe him because they just assumed it was the schizophrenia as usual. Oh, that sucks. Oh. Yeah, insects can get stuck in ears. Luckily, if you call a doctor, they can also usually get them out. You just actually need to call for help. They don't need you don't always need a doctor. There's also tricks of like just flooding your ear with, I think, saline, or I guess water would also help. If the insect isn't stuck, it'll just float out. But if you don't think you can get it out, a doctor's visit will do. I don't like thinking about that. Yeah, let's change the insect and ear topic. That might be a good idea. How's everyone today? I'm doing well. I've been very excited to play the rest of this game. Let's actually continue with more of this interrogation. Where it's like, they must have done something, but what? Must have happened when Commander White was interrogating them. What could they have possibly done to confuzzle anyone? I got no idea what to do next time. She dragged me to the laundry room in the far back of the apartment. It was quieter there, but I don't know if I can do that. It takes time to form a habit, because I go into flee mode. Thinking isn't something I can do during meltdown. I go on autopilot. Yeah, I understand. You're not thinking logical at that moment. But now you do know about the laundry room, it might be easier to try and direct yourself to that. You could maybe... Yeah, that wouldn't work in this moment. You can't just quickly build a habit like that. I don't know. Are we quiet for a minute so we can actually get anywhere with the game? Yeah, I'm concerned and I wish I could help Ivonella. I'm glad there was someone there for you, and it's probably not going to happen again, but yeah. I don't know. Maybe you could tell other people to help keep an eye on you, and maybe you can try practice somehow. I don't know. I usually instead of fleeing, when I have a meltdown, I just freeze in place, which can also be very dangerous, but in other ways. I tend to go and crawl into like a small space, which actually no, that could be really bad. Especially now I'm an adult, I don't fit very many places, but as a kid, that could have ended up real bad. But for me, it always was cabinets and such. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I really badly want to help, but that's beyond my control. I just take care and hopefully with some time you're like being in your room, you're able to come down from that stress. My dad was trying to help, but was about to make it worse because his idea involved... Oh, yeah. Well, maybe what you could do is... because it seems like your neighbors really want to look out for you. In a neutral moment, like a moment of calm, you could explain to them, like, what happens in a meltdown and how to best help you. Because you can't explain it to them whilst you're having a meltdown, but if it ever happens to occur again and they want to help, if you explain them beforehand how to best help you, they'll be able to keep that in mind. Also, health check. So let's take a sip of water. Do a stretchy stretch. Look away for 10 seconds. Then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Luckily, the little kid knew just look bad leading direction. She wanted me to go. I was just sheeping her to my little kid. Little kids sometimes are like they're very intuitive. Like they sometimes they just know what to do. Because I think for a kid, they just understand that feeling of being overwhelmed. So they intuitively know that, okay, wait, this is what I have to do. Like, not all kids, of course, but I don't know. Kids are remarkably intuitive and clever. Like at times, like sometimes they do really stupid stuff, and sometimes they do really intelligent stuff. It's just art is good. Yes, the art is so amazing. Like, I don't mind. I need to continue the game. Also, okay, we did the stretch, we did look away, we do a push here, and then we continue. I don't mind being stuck on this still because I really like the character art, and in particular this character, because I think the hair... She pretty. Oren was the one who collected their statements. Did he notice anything off about their behavior? From what he said, they had a few quirks, but nothing too suspicious. Quirks. He told me that they were running and spinning around him during questioning. Oh. So that's why they were doing that. It was pretty weird when they first said it. What does that mean? I have no idea. Perhaps they were still Nanch after finding their coworker murdered. She told me after that she had an autistic kid in her class, and she was taught along with the class. Oh, that makes sense. Like, she knew what to do. Well, good thing that your neighbor kid was there. Yeah, kids have a great way of being, hey, you seem scared. I'm also sometimes scared. I do this thing when I'm scared. Maybe you can try this thing. It's really cute. Yeah. They're less like, oh, you're an adult, so you should be able to, like, regulate. They're more like, I understand. Emotions are a lot sometimes. This helps me when emotions are a lot. Yeah, the physical contact would have turned Flea into fight mode. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I can understand. I haven't had a meltdown in a very long time, goodness. Now I feel like I'm jinxing it. But I can see why. And that I wouldn't be happy about being touched either. So yeah, physical contact during an anxiety attack doesn't work for me either. For me, it's like only very specific people, and only if they offer me first, and I'm allowed to decide, and that would only work if I'm like not like already a little calmed down, like if I can still speak. Like if I'm completely like just like full on meltdown, then well, speaking is not going to happen. So luckily I haven't had that in a very, very long time. Running and spinning. Our thoughts also said it's a good thing that we are twins. How did the twins did they just like did they Looney Tunes and switch places by just running about? They were like, haha, shadow ninjutsu. Gonna keep track of where the right twin is. We're just gonna quickly just move places and you won't notice. Yeah, it's a few steps up from an anxiety attack. Someone with anxiety can speak and process things like cars going by them a foot away. I can't breathe during some anxiety attacks. Could also... Yeah, it differs. I've got a bunch of things. I've done the collect them all bingo. So I had a lot of panic attacks in high school, but I didn't know they were panic attacks. Nobody told me. I just noticed that I suddenly wasn't able to breathe, and I got shaky, and like everything was bad, and I was barely able to walk. Which is very scary because it felt like I was dying. But they're very different from the... I have PTSS. Oh no, wait, that's the Dutch. PTSD. In Dutch it's S and like, anyway. But I also get PTSD attacks from that, which are similar in emotional intensity, but it might also be because I'm older now, but I don't get I don't start hyperventilating anymore. It's... yeah. They're all unpleasant though, and it's also because every person differs, that what works for one person to help calm them down doesn't work for the other. And it's really hard to, in that moment, of course, distinguish what to do when to help, because, well, if someone can't talk and tell you what to do, then usually it doesn't help to start asking them a lot of questions. That's only more distressing. So, yeah, trying to be intuitive and body blocking to at least have them not go in bad directions is, I guess, the best you can do. I hate PTSD flashbacks. They're worse, especially when I wake up from it during sleep. Oh, sleep paralysis is the worst. I'm another thing, I'm glad I'm not experiencing anymore, but I used to experience a lot. I honestly can't even hear people when it happens. I haven't had that. I don't think I've had that happen before, but there are some moments that are very blurry in my younger life, so maybe. Who knows? But yeah, in high school, I got sleep paralysis a lot. The thing is that, for me, what I read about sleep paralysis, it's supposed to be, okay, you're frozen and you might see something scary, but that's it. What I got in sleep paralysis is that I was frozen, my entire body hurted, and also I couldn't breathe. Like, at all. It felt like I was suffocating. And sometimes there were scary things, but I was more worried about the fact that I couldn't breathe at all. So then I was desperately trying to wiggle my fingers or my toes to break out of it so I could take a, like, breath of air. It was horrible. I know what it's from because I still have the memories. I want to bury them as deep as possible, but my therapist says that's unhealthy. Yeah, I understand. Like, I fully understand, because you just don't want to deal with it and you'd rather forget. The thing is that your brain just doesn't really forget. They're still there somewhere in the back of your mind causing trouble. So you have to, like, with therapy help, somehow clean them up. That's what I'm doing currently. It's taking a lot longer than I'd like, but it does help. It's just not pleasant. Like going to the dentist. You have to go. It's good for your teeth, but it's not a pleasant experience. I hate to interrupt this conversation, but are you okay to talk about this stuff right now? Yeah, actually, thank you, Alice. That's a good point. Maybe we should just switch off now. I think it's good to talk about this, but Alice has a very good point. It might not be the best time to talk about this. Also, the good old switcheroo, like one of the cup tricks, exactly like one of the cup tricks. They're like, which twin? Look at the ball. Which one is it? Not ready yet. Yeah, fair. But let's focus on the game. I think this might be a good moment to switch. Better color with my kitty mind blank. Yeah. How did the twins trick the Inquisition? Haha, Wallace did something. Okay, switched. Places with. So let's see. Valentina switched places with Valerie. Of course, they switched places. Oh, Luna, you may want to take a look at obstructive sleep apnea. Wallace incorrectly spoke with Horam. Yes, yes, that is what happened. I never heard of that. Like, I heard of sleep apnea before, or, well, not back then, but now. But I never assumed I had that. Yes, it was Wallace the whole time. Valentina attuned to the first spell compendium. Then she pretended to be Valerie to attune to the second one. Commander White couldn't tell the difference between them. Miss Janus, there's something I want to confirm. During the investigation, both you and Valerie attuned to the spell compendium. Am I correct? Yeah, that night watched us do it. And how did he have you do this? Did you both attune to his companions at the same time? Or did you attune one after another? Saxophone time! What? No way, does he know what we did? I fail to see how that makes any difference, Mr. Cuber. Yes, I agree. The spell companions would work regardless of what order they went in. You may not be aware of this, Your Honor, but Valentina and Valerie Janus are identical twins, which means that their physical appearances are nearly identical to each other. If Commander White didn't have the Mattoon at the same time, what would have stopped the twins from switching places with each other? Oh no.
Objection!
This is clearly nothing but baseless conjecture. Oren wouldn't fill out such a basic task. Oh no, we're dragging the detective under the bus again. I'm sorry, detective. I don't mean to. But you did do... Really, Prosecutor Steelwind? Do you find it hard to believe that Commander White would fill out a task like this? Wouldn't he? She's like, oh, Flint. Wait a minute, this is crazy. We didn't trick the Inquisition. Neither of us are mages. Then prove it, Miss Janus. Bring in your sister and we'll have you attuned to 2 spell compendiums at the same time. No, wait. Ah, this wouldn't be a problem. Are you really vouching for his confidence? And then she goes silent. Order in the court. It's clear that we won't get anywhere unless we test the defense's theory. Bailiff, escort Valerie Janus to the stand and bring 2 unattuned spell compendiums. They've both had their hands on those compendiums for the last 10 minutes. There's no way they can fake it in front of this many people. Alright, it's the moment of truth. You can only hope that your theory is correct. No! Did she? He seriously? What is this, Prosecutor Steelwind? What do you see? What I see is Commander White seeking new employment in the near future. It appears that the defense was correct. Valentina Janus isn't a mage, but Valerie Janus is. Once more, Valerie Janus' compendium contains the Mend Wounds spell, which makes the defense theory entirely plausible. But please, just allow me to explain. We should allow you to explain what exactly. You're an unregistered mage, and you and your sister have made fools out of all of us with your perjury. How would you know what it's like, Lady Steelwind? What? Did you think we didn't notice your name? You're not like us. You don't have to hide. Whatever, this whole situation has gotten out of hand. I didn't think hiding it would cause so much trouble. And I won't let someone go to prison because of me, even if he is a necromancer. Please let me testify about what I saw. Greetings, oh owl of the... I'm not cute. How dare? Yeah. I have an Angie now. How dare? Thank you. And how are you doing? I hope you're well. And yes, this is the other one. Feel kind of bad for those two. They only got found out because they were trying to help. Yeah, they're not in the wrong. It's just, sadly, if we didn't uncover them, our guy would die. I'm pretty sure the death penalty is a thing in this world. Oh, the owl's like, and that's no. This shouldn't be scared. I'm not cute. No. I'll tell you what really happened that day. Very well. But understand that there will be repercussions for your actions, witness. Yes, I know. My sister and I were walking in the hallway from the kitchen to the foyer. Then I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in a nearby classroom. Valentina used the communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast Mend Wounds on her to close her wounds. But it was too late. I closed the holes in her stomach, but she was already dead. There was a hole in her stomach. Your Honor, as you can clearly see from the witness testimony, the trace of necromancy was left by the witness, not my client. Very angry. No, no cute, no. Fear me. I'm scary. Who dumps our door? No! Yeah, cute. No, Coffee, you can't just join in. I don't have the right faces for this. Once more, it's clear that there was a physical wound on the body. I see. Well, his words trail off. He clearly doesn't want to pass a verdict when there's no clear culprit. But he has no choice. The case against Wallace is predicated on Bellwether being killed by necromancy. With Valerie's testimony, the prosecution doesn't have a shred of evidence implicating him. So, not guilty. Very well. The court sees no reason to prolong this trial. With these new developments, the court has no choice but to find Wallace Nightgrave not... Oh? He was gonna give us a not guilty, but...
Objection!
There we go. I wanted to say the games kind of make me emotional. Like Adolescent Light? Wait, what? Oh, for cute. Wonder how the prosecution is going to worm their way out of this one. Me too. I believe the court is ignoring one key detail of the witness's testimony. And what would that be, Miss Steelwind? Let's re-examine the witness testimony. Valentina used the communication device to call for help while I tried to save her. I saw that she was bleeding, so I cast man wounds on her to close her wounds. But I was too late. I closed the hole in her stomach, but she was already dead. The communication device that Valentina Janus used logs the time of day during each use. From this log, we know that Valentina used this device at 3:04 PM. That was an hour after the time of death. Where are you going with this? Mr. Kubert, there was a witness who saw the victim before the body was found. I don't know if they're if I'm supposed to say it in English or in Dutch, because Jan is a Dutch name. Well, I guess not only Dutch, but also the music is flipping amazing. Jan Hugas. No, that doesn't sound right either. Jan Hugas? That seems okay. Jan Hugas. English. But in English it would be Jan, I think. That doesn't sound so wrong. Jan Hugas. It's an English game, right? True. But that doesn't mean they won't have characters that are technically meant to be a different, like, ethnicity. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found. I was cleaning the halls. Bellwether knocked over a vase. There were shards and dirt everywhere. Probably 20-30 minutes before the twins found the body. 20-30 minutes before the body was found. Do you see this discrepancy, Mr. Kubert? Wait, that can't be right. Bellwether died more than an hour before the body was found. Jan Hugas is probably how I would probably say it. Yeah, Jan? Yeah. I don't know English well enough to know how I would pronounce it spelled differently either. I think Hugas does seem right, and I'm just gonna say Jan Hugas. So how did Jan see her half an hour after her death? Well, we have illusion magic. Come on, guys. There's illusion magic right next to the body. Pronouncing stuff is difficult. It is. I wonder, Mr. Kubert, how could one make a dead body move and walk around? Oh, no. Objection! This is bad for my case. No, you can't mean... There was more than one piece of evidence that pointed to a necromancer committing a crime. The defendant murdered the victim and used necromancy to animate her corpse. Wouldn't they see that there was a huge flipping hole in her stomach? The airplaner designer guy went by a different pronunciation. I don't know who the airplaner designer guy is. An undead created within the Imperial Academy? Hughes? Is that how you pronounced it? Pronouncing stuff in English is even more difficult, so inconsistent. Yeah, exactly. I need to... Oh, let's click. Otherwise we have constant memory. Oh, reprehensible. That's ridiculous. She had a hole in her stomach when the twins found her. I need to learn how to read those, like, pronunciation indicators where, like, each sound has like a combination of symbols, so people could actually spell stuff out on that for me. This case has so many holes in it. It's like a piece of Swiss cheese. Yeah, alongside the body. At least one hole was there. Jan Hughes would have noticed that. Animate corpse stops the flow of blood, so she wouldn't have tracked blood anywhere. What's the name we're talking about? Jan Hughes. The defendant is also proficient with illusion magic. He could have easily used an illusion spell to hide the undead Bellwether's wounds. But another party could have easily used illusion magic to disguise themselves as the victim. Yeah, that's what I was going for. If that were true, how did they move the body to the classroom? Miss Steelwind, if your theory is true. Mr. Steelwind. Or no, Miss. No. Too many things. Miss Steelwind, if your theory is true, it would mean that the murder occurred elsewhere. Would the Inquisition happen to know where? Regrettably, we do not. Jan sounds like John, but with an A instead of O. So, yeah, Jan. In English, it would be said as Jan, I suppose. As for you, Gus, to me it sounds like Hughes. Jan Hughes? Then the prosecution's case against my client is still faulty. You can't convict my client without more evidence. I agree with Mr. Kubert. Oh, nice. With these new developments, the court sees it fit to suspend the trial for the time being. Howard Hughes, the guy Tony Stark's dad was designed after. Short A, not long. Jan Hughes? I'm sorry. I don't pronounce things well. We will give the law enforcement time to investigate these unknowns. Court proceedings for this case will resume tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned. I think I'm hearing the issue. My issue or the game's issue? Because the case has a lot of holes. Hey, are you feeling okay? A body is seen moving around an hour after death. It clearly wasn't Bellwether, or at the very least, she wasn't alive when this happened. Grammar issue. Makes you feel better? I'm stuttering along here. So what was it? Chiron? There's illusion magic involved, there has to be. But which spell was it? Could it have been illusory disguise? Chiron! Oh, but what? You've been quiet since the trial ended. You were making me worried. Sorry, I was just thinking about what Steelwind said. You mean about her theory? It's a little creepy when you think about it. Do you really think someone turned the professor into an undead? Jan, I'm hearing as Jan, more Y than J, and you're pronouncing the G and U. Yeah, I would pronounce the G and U, because like G is a thing you pronounce in Dutch. Like if I had said it very Dutch, it would be like very, very Dutch. Huges. Huges, which doesn't make any sense. It's not a Dutch last name. Like Jan? Okay, so wait, you'd say Jan Hughes. Like Jan Hughes? Jan Hughes. Is that how I'm supposed to say that name? I don't know why people add G's that are not meant to be pronounced. I mean, hard J pronunciation. J, like J. Is that a hard J? Okay. Dush. Jan. And then, hello, Holy and Evil. Thank you so much for all the gift subs. Why are you giving me gift subs because I'm struggling pronouncing things? No, I do not deserve subs for this. I'm being a small brain owl. Thank you very, very much. That is super kind of you. But yeah, like I even though my brain knows that the G is not, they're supposed to be pronounced in most languages, like in English, it's like soft. My Dutch brain is like, no, it's a G. You pronounce it with pride. What are you, Flemish? I'm sorry, Seb, if you're hearing this. It's like, I'm also from the middle of the Netherlands, which I've recently learned actually says their G is the hardest, apparently. Dutch brain go, yeah, Dutch brain does go. Oh boy, I'm a sub once more, thanks. Yeah. Look at all those people having moons. Also have a nice lurk, Holy and Evil. Punk, as a Swede, does the same thing with their J's. Saying them hard. Yeah, it's like, also the R's. I tend to pronounce the R's too much. Language is silly. Folks, cute pouting anime. This one? Yeah, G is cute. Saying them soft. Oh. Yeah. There's also gonna be even more vacant for bits, so I can't focus. I'm making a stat block from Pathfinder monster, partly for the practice, partly for fun, and partly for perhaps using them in our upcoming campaign. I wish I could share the details with you, but spoiler. Yeah, that's the tricky thing. I'm now part of the campaign. I don't think so. The prosecution's case is hinged on one clear fact. That Wallace was the only high-level necromancer nearby. We have to assume that he's the only person capable of using that type of magic. But then how was she walking around? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's a given that Wallace didn't touch the body, so we can't discount the use of high-level necromancy. No matter what, someone used an illusion. But aren't there spells that can create freestanding illusions, not just disguises? I honestly don't know. I would leave it a parting gift. Push-ups. I see. Alright, push-up time. Let me see. Let me check my water real quick. Because I noticed we ran out of ad-free time. Although, with the amount of people that are subbed now, maybe we don't need to worry as much about it. Let's do some quick push-ups. Back. An hydration check. Thank you, Holy and Evil. I think a vital part of this is finding out if there was illusion magic used on the body. That's the thing we can find out. Well, we only sense necromancy magic on the body, but there was an illusion magic thingy near the body. It's mainly about proving what happened. But we're gonna go back and investigate, I think. For anyone who isn't subscribed though, we're gonna take a 3-minute ad break, so we don't have to deal with pre-roll for a while. I guess that's mainly for the people coming in, but still, just a quick break for the people that are coming in. So I'm gonna go quickly top up my water bottle, and then we'll continue. So, apologies. I gotta work around Switch's ad, so I'll be right back. Go grab yourself some waters too, or whatever you need to grab. And I'm back. Sorry for the little break. I hope you all got yourself some water, or went to the toilet or whatever. Okay, let's focus now. We need to talk to someone who knows about that type of magic. Oh no. I think we're gonna go back to a certain someone that is very suspicious. Wait, didn't Eris say that she was studying illusion magic? Yep, back to Eris. She might be able to tell us if something like that is possible. Is that really a good idea? She feels bad vibes from Eris. She's like, no. I'm back. And I didn't want her. Well, welcome back. Maybe I got something else. What do you mean? What if she's the one who created the illusion? What? You're detecting fear from her again. Celeste, are you scared of Eris? Celeste is correct. There's bad vibes from Eris. What? No. I saw it this morning too. You're always getting really scared when she's around. Oh, I thought I was doing a better job of hiding it. Sorry, it's not based on anything real, but for years I've been working as a mercenary. When you do that kind of work, you build up an instinct to sense danger. See? She knows the vibes are off. She knows Ares is banned. It's not a good... bad news. Like, really. Like, we know something's very off there. And clearly, she's got good intuition. You kind of have to if you want to stay alive. Sorry, I never knew. Chiron, I fought literal monsters and barely escaped with my life. But when I'm near Ares, none of those creatures come even close. Oh, damn. I get this feeling. It's like I'm in front of a predator that I couldn't ever hope to beat. Well, damn. I mean, I don't think she's wrong. Every instinct I have tells me to run whenever she's close by. Really, but she doesn't seem that dangerous. En hoe moet ik dit nu doen? Hoe moet ik dit nu gaan lezen, terwijl ik Nederlands moet praten? Moet ik dit nu gaan vertalen? Oké. Echt, maar ze lijkt niet zo gevaarlijk. Dat weet ik. Misschien ben ik gewoon nerveus of zoiets. Ik zou beter moeten weten dan... Ik zou beter moeten weten dat om iemand... Ik zou beter moeten weten om iemand niet bij hun uiterlijk te... niet voor hun uiterlijk te veroordelen. Sorry. Vergeet dat ik iets zei. And there you go. It's really hard to read these in Dutch, you know? If you think we should talk to her, then we should do that. Luckily, they are in English, so you guys could read along. Not one to discount Celeste's instincts. She's always been reliable, and if Ares is making her scared, that must mean something. Yeah, listen to your friendo. Ares is bad news. What, you think I'm a multilingual or something? I just dream because I have points, easy. Yeah, I guess I need more pointings. It's hard to think of pointings though. But if Ares really is that dangerous, then that's all the more reason to talk to her. Hold up, buddy, boo, friendo, homie, lad. Like, chickpea, something word. Why would you talk to her? And more push-ups. Okay, more push-ups. Okay, push-ups done. I only have 75k channel points. That might be like, yeah, I need more interesting redeems, clearly, because like, or more expensive ones that are interesting, because clearly there's a lot of people that have a lot of Kadosh, a lot of shinies, a lot of moon stuffs, and then nothing to spend it on. Although maybe Rimworld will change that. I do know about Dutch and English, and she did a find up. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. But aside from that, there was also something else that the prosecutor said. Mr. Hubert, there was a witness who saw the victim before the body was found. Oh no, that name again. I have a total of 326 points. Dang. Jan Hughes. He, along with another witness, spotted Bellwether walking in the hallways before the body was found. She said, along with another witness. That means that there was another witness that saw Bellwether walking around. Right, Jan, it probably isn't the most reliable witness. But talking to that other person might help us figure out what happened. Back to Lurk. Have a nice lurk. But do you think Steelwind will tell us who that witness is? At this point, we won't lose anything by trying. In any case, it looks like you have your work cut out for you. Hydration check. Sip. Thank you. Now then, where should you start first? Yes, I'd like to save. Oh. Well, that looks like a cemetery. Now, don't it? Hello. Tyron? What are we doing here? I'm not sure. For some reason, you felt drawn to this place. Sir? That seems like a bad sign. Wait, is that Eris? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. No, no, no. No. Tony's talking to. This ain't good. I don't like this. Celeste points further into the cemetery. There, you see Eris standing in front of a gravestone. She's placing flowers on it and appears to be chanting a short prayer. Well, we found her. We should probably talk to her later. Yes, the classic plain cemetery sound of the... I don't know. But ominous music is ominous. It would be rude to disturb her now. As you're about to leave, Eris suddenly turns to face you. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. She's far away, but you can see her beckoning you over. Haven't you considered running? Running is an option. This is not the right track for a cemetery. Yeah, it's a little... grand. But it is maybe the right track for her. This feels a little too grand yet. Maybe it's also partly because I'm holding on it a little long. But no. Bad news. Bad news. Go away. Shoosh. Oh, hello there. Are you two looking for me? Okay, no, she bad. She very bad. Sorry, we were looking for you. But we understand if you'd rather talk later. No, I was just finishing up here. Did you have something you wanted to talk to me about? Well, we wanted to ask you some questions about the case. Oh. I love her the design is immaculate. It is amazing. But also she bad. She real bad. We saw her in a nightmare and there's also been glitching happening with her near where people changed what they were gonna say to be in sort of favor for what she wanted. She bad news. Not good. Very bad. Run away. Oh, now we have to talk to her. Maybe I just... It's a grave for an individual you do not know. It'd be best to leave it undisturbed. It's the grave that Eris was at earlier. The name on the stone says Emily Grant, and her lifetime appears to be awfully short. She must have only been 12 years old when she died. Oh no.
Repario Arcanum.
Well, it's my first time watching a court trial. Music is a little intense. Are you saying this lady doesn't know necromancy? Nope, supposedly her arcane art is illusion. She certainly looks like you to know necromancy. Yeah. You're truly remarkable. Might have to turn the music down if it keeps being this intense. Oh, whoops. Thank you. Were you in the gallery? Can I just real quick... Like, I need you to be a little less intense music. I've always enjoyed watching physical battles in theater. But I see now that battles of wits can be just as entertaining to watch. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. Entertaining. Yeah, I know what you mean. You see, the odds are stacked against him. But then he suddenly pulls out this crazy deduction and steers the trial in his favor. Aw, so that's trying to be nice. I've never really thought of it like that. I'm sure it's far more entertaining to be the one making the deductions. I'm trying to get someone to not die. She was watching you. Definitely. I mean, it's her friend on trial, so it's not weird for her to be watching us. It's just weird that she calls it entertainment. I'm not really sure what you mean. I practice law so that I can help those persecuted by the justice system. I don't really do it to entertain myself. But is that really true? I mean, having joy or fulfillment in doing something well doesn't mean that it is meant for entertainment alone. Oh, you got bad vibes, bad vibes. What? I didn't read the text under it. I was too focused on the bad vibes that I didn't read the text at all. Was the text the same? Don't you find the experience even the least bit entertaining, Tyrone? Was it the same text? You understand now? Do I still have the super scared? Where's my super scared? Did I remove it? Because I need it now. Where's my super scared? I thought I had it. Hold up. Where is it? Yeah, that's the one. Which hotkey is that? There. I don't know why that got removed. But yeah, that's not good. She's still cute, but yeah, that's really interesting. Games like these would benefit from being able to go back and replay previous and yeah, it would. Even though that would make the glitch a little less, like, you'd be able to read back, but I wouldn't really put it that way. You're far too modest. You save people from the clutches of death. To your clients, you might as well have been a knight in shining armor. Earlier you said that you're studying illusion magic. I am. Did you want to ask me about the persecution's theory? Yes, actually. How did you know? It was easy to guess after seeing you in the courthouse. Anyways, disguising as an undead illusion is definitely possible. And as Lady Steelwind said, illusion disguise would be the best spell to use for that. Illusory disguise. What if someone created a freestanding illusion? A freestanding illusion? Yeah, we know that Wallace didn't animate and disguise the professor's corpse. So what if the illusion wasn't disguising anything? Maybe someone created a freestanding illusion of Bellwether walking around. For something like that, one would probably use major illusion. Creates a three-dimensional illusion. The illusion can take the form of any object or creature that can be contained in a 10-feet cube. While concentrating, the caster can animate and move the image to at a different location within range. The illusion is purely visual and can't be physically touched, which would be not our solution, considering that a fake Bellwether knocked over a vase. What is it? I don't think major illusion is what we're looking for. Do you remember Jan-san? He's not a... He's just decently smarty. Was cleaning a mess in the hallways. Bellwether knocked over a vase, and there were shards and dirt everywhere. If the Bellwether that Jan saw was a major illusion, then she couldn't have knocked over that vase. The illusions created by that spell don't have any mass. I see. How perceptive of you. Aren't there any other illusion spells that do have mass? No, illusions can only recreate visual and auditory sensations. But there isn't a single illusion spell that someone can touch. So that means someone disguised something to make it look like Bellwether. Well, we do have automatons, so... Why the look of suspicion, Celeste? Sorry, I wasn't... Calm down, I'm only joking. Are you though? Ooh, I looked back in the stream and know what did she say? Because I want to know. A different location within range. What's the range of it? 10 feet. I don't think major illusion was used. Also, wait, hold up, copy. Did I call you Will? I saw the green name and I might have confused you for Will, which, my bad. I don't blame you for considering every possibility. I don't think so. Okay. I just realized, wait a second. Did I mix people up? Instead of Tyron, she said admin. Oh. Oh. Oh, I thought the object just can't be bigger than 10 feet. No, I think... well, maybe. We can read back the spell. Oh, that is creepy. In fact, I'm flattered you think I'm capable of pulling off such an elaborate ruse. Anyways, that... oh no, wait, that's me. Or that's Siren. Anyways, it does tell us one important thing. What's that? The bellwether that Jan saw had a physical mass to it. It wasn't a freestanding illusion, it was someone, or something, disguised as bellwether. 30 minutes before Jan's twins found the body, Bellwether walked past Jan's West Wing hallway. He was in her path, so she shoved him out of her way. After that, she knocked over a vase and shattered it. Even though Jan didn't say anything to her, she yelled at him to be quiet. After this interaction, she walked into Lecture Hall 2B. The bellwether witnessed by Jan Hughes must have been disguised with an illusion. In addition to that, whoever saw that day was physically... it is definitely one of the automatons because they have Bellwether's voice, and I bet they are programmed to have a be quiet voice line. Why would she say admin? She's maybe talking directly to us. It's quite a shame, isn't it? Anderson looks pensively at the gravestone. The name on the stone says Emily Grant, and her lifespan appears to be awfully short. She must have only been 12 years old when she died. Sorry for interrupting you. Was she someone you knew? Not personally, I'm actually here on Wallace's behalf. Wallace knew her? Is she reading your computer username? I surely hope not, because I'm... no, I don't know. Wallace joined the academy as part of a program run by Headmaster Redmond. At the time, the headmaster was reaching out to mages amongst the common folk. He had started a program to admit these mages to the academy without having to pay tuition. Both Emily and Wallace were amongst those mages. Wow, that must have been an amazing opportunity for them. The truth is, neither of them actually cared about learning magic. The real problem was that Emily had a terminal illness. Oh, so that's what he saw. Games unintentionally doxing players sucks. Yeah, I don't think that's what the game did. I think admin might just be a generic thing. At least I hope so, because... yeah, I really don't like my games pulling stuff from my computer. At least not without explicitly telling me they'll be doing that. At least admin is a pretty generic name. Yeah, exactly. Because I don't want my offline name to be known. I like my privacy. I want to keep it that way. And if a game were to not allow that, then... well, screw you, game. She and Wallace were poor orphans, and they obviously didn't have the resources to treat it. But if they enrolled in the academy would be obligated to give her medical treatment. The Imperial Academy teaches the best mages in the kingdom. They thought that curing her illness would be an easy task for the Academy's healers. But they were mistaken, I'm afraid. I'm sure you know this by now, but the healing spells can only treat wounds. They can't cure illnesses. Emily's condition only got worse over the years, and eventually she succumbed to her illness. Wallace was furious. He didn't understand why the kingdom was outlawing magic that could save lives. And that's why he decided to learn it himself. Yes, the headmaster was inspired by Wallace's resolve. He gave him access to the Academy's forbidden tomes of necromancy. And Wallace taught himself the spells that he knows today. So that's why... I was supposed to stay secret between him and the headmaster. But I'm sure you know how that turned out. Nope, nope, nope. Saw a post going around recently of a Pokemon fan game saying, streamers, if you play this game, don't talk to this character. They'll use your account name. Oh. Well, I'm glad at least someone is warning them. But yeah, that's like, I get for like the effect of like breaking the fourth wall. It's neat, but also don't do that. Not without a warning. Like, I get that would slightly spoil the surprise, but people's safety is important. And seeing as a lot of people stream these, and heck, some people might not want their computer name used for other reasons. Also, I don't like her. She's scary. Okay, I think we saw all things. I don't have anything else to present. We leave. Bye-bye. I don't want to be here. She's scary. Oh, it's you, Mr. Kubert. Stillman? What are you doing here? After what happened at the trial yesterday, I decided it would be best to start an investigation here. Right, Wallace was in the library for the entire morning, so it would make sense that she'd start her search here. Actually, since I have you here, have you seen Eris Ilmater anywhere? It's my understanding that you're both acquainted with each other. Eris? What do you want with her? Not for anything serious, mind you. It's just that Oath of a Commander lost her spell companion. Huh. Yes. I mean, the commander doesn't seem like he'd be that incompetent. Then again, he also lost the game of Switcharoo with 2 twins, so... Now we need her to produce another one for our records. If you see her, please let her know that we'd like to speak to her. I have a feeling she doesn't want to. We saw her earlier in the cemetery nearby, but I have no idea where she is now. Once again, I have to compensate for that idiot's mistakes. Anyways, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about the case. Very well, I suppose I still need to honor our deal from earlier. Have you had any luck finding the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, I haven't. From the witnesses' testimonies, we have a rough idea of the route Bellwether took, but none of the rooms we've checked have any signs of a struggle. Why are you so sure that a struggle happened? I'm mainly basing that off the Yana sisters' testimonies. Valerie in particular noticed that the bleeding came from a wound in her stomach. Regrettably, the body's wounds were mended, so we can't determine what kind of weapon the murderer used. During the trial, you mentioned that another witness saw Bellwether walking around yesterday. Would you be willing to tell us who that person is? I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that. You're caught a little off guard. You've been pretty transparent with your investigation so far. What's changed? I have no obligation to justify myself to you, nor do I have an obligation to help the opposition. Didn't we have a deal? Hiding information doesn't exactly seem fair to us. That's also not how most justice systems work. I believe I've given you plenty of information already. So regardless of what I said before, the answer is still no. Her family is dangerous. Oh. The Eye of Horus catches a stray thought from her. Her family is dangerous. What does that mean? It's the pokey lady. It's probably the lady who wants her sword back. That probably is the murderer. Is there something about the witness's family that you're worried about? Scared. No, this could be a feint. I'm sorry, but you'll have to try harder than that if you want to bluff me. She referred to the witness as her. Furthermore, she said that her family is dangerous. What was the girl's name? I forgot. I don't know if we ever learned it, considering we saw it in like a, not from our character's perspective, but as a after thing with Steelwind talking to them. Or are you talking about Eris? Googling, I can't find anything about turning the Arcane, breaking the fourth wall, or using user informations, but that might just be because it's rather new and a bit obscure. Sorry, the evil girl. The evil girl is Eris Ilmater. The potential other subject, we don't know the name of, we just know that she's a royal. Hi, and bye. Bye, Seb. Thank you for coming in and saying hi. Have a good day at work. And, yeah. Attorney of the Arcane is really recently released, so maybe the best bet would be to check in the Steam comments section I don't know, it is really, really new. It doesn't even have a picture when you select the game on Twitch. And would you go to such lengths to hide the witness's identity? In any case, it looks like she's not willing to share more at the moment. Maybe you should try looking somewhere else. Okay. Too bad they don't have any fictional books. Were you looking for a novel to read? Yeah, I was hoping they'd have some mystery novels I could read. You like mystery novels? Of course, why do you think I like this job so much? I've never really been a fan of the mystery genre. What? But... your whole career is about solving mysteries. Exactly. It's exhausting. When I read a novel, I just want to read about simple fantasy stories and classic heroes. I guess that makes sense. What about you, Steelwind? I don't really have the time for such things. The Holy Text from the Church of Bahamut. I read some of these with Eris earlier. I'm meaning to ask, do you guys worship dragons in Wivengard? I've never really been the religious type, but I've seen some devout worshippers in the capital. It's the most prominent religion here. His guild Lord Natalian is said to be the source of all arcane magic. It's no wonder that he's such a large part of our culture. The globe of the world. It's amazing how many other nations there are aside from Wivengard. I've been to most of these places. You should come with me next time, Tyrone. Isn't traveling through the border heavily restricted? Oh, don't worry, I won't report you. Thanks. Can't exactly blame you for wanting to leave. Aww. She's not a... like, meanie. Our tables for students to sit at while they study. I don't think I could handle sitting here day after day. I think that's all the thingies. Oh? Due to constant misuse of Arcane's construct voice systems, voice lines can now only be said by Headmaster Redmond. Is that why I can't make the construct say things? The constructs speak using Professor Bellwether's voice, which is why I think it's one of the constructs that were used to yell "be quiet." Unfortunately, that was an open invitation to many of the students. A lot of them ordered the constructs to speak several obscenities using her voice. But why is the Headmaster Redmond the only person allowed to set the voice lines? There was also rumors that several faculty members partook in these pranks. I can't blame them for wanting to let off some steam. And that's important information, though.
Repario Arcanum.
Yeah, I assume there wouldn't be anything here, because I assume our friendo would already have attempted to do things. It does in fact use your real username, according to some comments. It's a good thing you have a generic username. Oh, thank goodness. Well, that would have been nice to know. I'm glad I never changed this computer's generic username to actually reflect my offline name. Because that would have been unpleasant. Gosh dang it, to turn you off the Arcane. I like you, but don't pull this stuff. Like, I mean, I get why, because it's common, but it's also not nice. Yeah, warning for streamers would be nice. Yeah, or like are you a streamer option in the settings or something that'll be like, hey, sometimes this game will do some fourth wall breaking stuff. If you are a streamer and you'd rather use like something else, use this. Like, I wouldn't mind the game calling me Luna. That's fine. I just don't want the game to call me my offline name. I love how my laziness sometimes saves me. Who needs some customization if you can just be admin? Ooh, I like this music track. It'd be groovy. I think we heard this before, but still. You spend some time wandering through the academy when you overhear a conversation from a nearby room. From what I understand, Miss Steelwind, he has already moved the investigation elsewhere. How long must I wait before I can retrieve my things? Sorry, old-timer. Orders are orders. Nothing comes in or out till this case is over and done with. Hi, Seal. Call yourself Inquisitor. Mistress. The chosen one. I don't even know where I would change that. Like, genuinely. I don't... The only reason my old PC had that customization is I think they set it up to be the name on the person that ordered the PC. Hey Luna, hello Hornet, welcome to the stream. I'm not the cute. Nyeh. Hero of the downtrodden. Thanks for the conf. Gonna head out. Okay. Have a nice day, Copy. Was good seeing you. Commander White? And the Headmaster too? Oh, hello, Mr. Hubert. Hey, kid. In any case, there are other matters I must attend to. Please inform me when I can reclaim my things. Sure. Looks like Commander White is standing guard in front of this locker room. And it doesn't look like he's conducting any sort of investigation. Is he here on Steelwind's orders? I still think his design is super cool. It's just... I wish they didn't have to make him incompetent. I mean, it makes sense that he might be held back by some of the legal obligation things, but also he seems like he'd be competent. He might be able to tell you who the secret witness is. What was the headmaster talking to you about? Supposedly, he had some items stored in one of the faculty lockers. Problem is, Steven said no one gets in or out of this room. Except for her and you two, apparently. Oh! She won't even let the other knights in there. Really? Is that normal? Nope, but things rarely are when she's calling the shots. Why would she give you access to the crime scene if she wasn't even letting the knights in? Steelwind is actually a decent person. I think the username of your Microsoft accounts might be your email, I'm not sure. But luckily I think my Microsoft account is on my Luna email. I made a separate Luna email a long time ago, and it was a very good decision. How are you feeling today? I've been playing Minecraft non-stop for the past couple days thanks to me and my friends. I've got a build base for them, all this stuff. That sounds fun! Can't judge a book by its really rugged cover. Listen, he looks like he'd be competent, just held back by the system. At least I will suggest it in the beginning. He's like, yeah, we have a lot of investigations, but whenever it's a noble, then we have to just keep our mouth shut. But sometimes I get to actually persecute a magic person, which is then a commoner who then supposedly have done a crime. But then usually their trials aren't fair. I don't know what her deal is, but she's been acting strange lately. She's been real paranoid, that girl. Frankly, I can't tell what's going on through her head. You mentioned that the prosecutor has been paranoid lately? Do you think it has something to do with this case? No, it started way before that. Lately, she's been using the Inquisition to investigate a lot of non-magical homicides. I like her so much. Yes, I really like Arya. In the first case, she was like, no, it can't be like this person, it has to be this person, and that's why she was strict. But then when she realized, no, actually, it was this other person, she was like, nah, you screwed yourself. I don't care, you're a noble. Look at how pissed he looks. Yeah, he angry. He jaded. I'm getting closer and closer to my birthday. I don't think I told you what I'm getting for my... No, you didn't. Gonna have something fun? What? Wouldn't it be easier to work with the relevant law enforcement for that? I don't know why, but she's convinced that these cases have magic involved. But we scanned each and every one of those crime scenes, nothing turned up. I got to say though, if it weren't for the scans, I might actually agree with her. Why do you say that? Those homicides, I haven't ever seen anything like them. They're probably some of the most screwed up cases I've ever handled. Someone else using magic that can't be traced. For one of those cases, we had ourselves a disgruntled spouse. She found out that her man was going around with a barkeep. And you know what the spouse does? He stonks the poor woman. Aw, poor woman. She starts leaving threatening notes all around where she worked. The barkeep told the city watch all about what was happening. But no matter how much they staked out the tavern, they couldn't never catch the perp. And one day, the barkeep arrived home. But little did she know, the spouse was waiting there for her. No, poor barkeep! Poor lady never had a chance. Then, to tie the whole thing together, the spouse waits for her husband to get home. She cooks him a big roast, using the barkeep's... Oh yeah, I heard of that sort of story before. Wow, that story is pretty... I know. Yeah, yikes. Steelwind thinks someone's developed a new type of magic that can control people's minds. Ah, you know, like that thing Ares is doing. And these homicides were some kind of sick test run. Magic that can control people's minds. I was just about to say, well, good thing there's no such thing as any magic that can't be traced. But wouldn't Mage Blight make more sense? Mage Blight? When a mage overuses their magic, it can have pretty bad consequences on their mind. They temporarily lose grip of reality and begin seeing things that aren't there. When a mage becomes like that, it almost never ends well. They enter a frenzy and begin firing spells randomly, which only makes it worse. I've seen my fair share of mage blight cases, and this isn't like that. Not all of the perps were mages, and the ones that were didn't even use their magic. One thing was that each of the perps almost seemed to wake up after we arrested them. All of them said things like, "It wasn't me," or "I didn't have a choice." They didn't have a choice. What could that mean? I doubt it means anything. Sometimes people can't face the things they've done. It's easier to say that you had no control than to take responsibility. You're wondering if you can mislead the commander into revealing who the secret witness is, and reducing his paycheck even more. During the trial, Miss Steelwood mentioned that someone other than Jan Hughes saw Bellwether walking around. Have you seen them around lately? We wanted to speak with them. Hey, he's not falling for it, is he? Ah, nice try, kid. Well, it was worth a shot. Honestly, I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. I don't think anyone other than Steelwood knows who this witness is. He still has a paycheck? I assume so. I sure as hell don't. What? She's even hiding it from the Inquisition commander? Poor White. Why is she being so secretive? Looks like the commander doesn't know who the secret witness is either. This isn't getting us anywhere. Steelwood's behavior is strange though. Perhaps you could try analyzing her behavior. If you do that, you might be able to find a way to convince her to help you. Okay, Steelwood's behavior has been strange this time around. Which is fair considering Ares is around and Ares has definitely shown abilities of manipulating people's actions. Still wants a paycheck? Still wants a paycheck, I sure as hell don't. Perfect timing. Nice. She's hiding elements of the case, even if from the commander. Anyone can tell that she doesn't have much faith in him. I'm standing right here. Sorry, Orem. But this is the first time I've seen her hide key details of a case from him. What is motivating Steelwood to keep secrets? This has to be the reason why she's being so secretive. I mean... it seems paranoia. Her actions must be driven by paranoia. She's been hoarding information about the case. There's only one reason why she wouldn't utilize the Inquisition like she usually does. Because she doesn't trust them. I hate to say it, but that doesn't really surprise me. She's always been standoffish with us. But there is one exception. Who has still been trusted for this case? Us. He let us investigate the crime scenes without any restrictions. Yeah, I never really thought about that. Does she trust us that much? I don't think personal trust is the reason. Why does Steelwood trust us this time? I don't usually interact with her. And she's worked with the Inquisition on plenty of cases we weren't even involved in. Because we are not using magic? Okay, we... want to tell you about it. Well, I'm turning 21 this year, and for my birthday this year, my dad is taking me skydiving with some of my friends. Oh, that's cool. Too bad you can't go skydiving with me. Then again, you might be afraid of heights. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I am actually afraid of heights, but mainly, like, I'm not afraid if I'm on a roller coaster or anything, but I am afraid if I'm, like, on stairs or something. It's weird. Maybe... No, the Inquisition isn't capable of using magic. Is it because we're not a member of the Inquisition? Or... Oh, wait, hold up. We aren't controlled by the nobility. I think that is it. Because that's the thing that ties them all together. They're controlled by the... Tyrant isn't capable of the nobility. I agree. I wonder if anyone sells clothes like these characters are wearing. I mean, for day-to-day wear. Ooh, I wonder too. See, the thing is, I always really love when people are dressed in cool or pretty clothing. But in reality, I'd never wear it, even though I wish I could, because I'm very sensitive to clothes being pinchy or itchy. So I tend to just go for really loose, like, comfy clothing. But it doesn't tend to look very pretty. Dylan doesn't know much about us, but she does know that we aren't prone to noble corruption. Right, you indicted a noble during the last case. Meanwhile, the Inquisition usually bends to nobility's whims. Well, I can't argue with you there. What can you infer about the secret witness? The secret witness is a noble. To my insight, I could tell that she was worried about the witness's family. And if she's worried about corruption from the nobility, that can only mean one thing. No, I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit. Alright, have a nice... stand. I would, but I can never find them, or they're far too expensive. Yeah, really, really nice clothing is super expensive. The witness is a noble. The witness has to belong to a noble family. Ooh! Adapt the sound. That's why she's so wary of interference. But we're obviously not going to do anything corrupt. Why is she hiding the witness's identity from us? So I can hang out with you after my... That's okay. Have a fun birthday. You recall seeing a thought through the eye. So regardless of what I said before, the answer is still no. Her family is dangerous. I think she's worried about our safety. Yeah, I guess harassing a noble could put you in danger. But I'm the protege of the infamous Ruby Tamora. Yeah, it's not as if we aren't already on the nobility's bad side. I'm sure the Pierce family still has it out for us. This can only mean that the family we're dealing with is even more powerful than the House Pierce. If the prosecutor is wary of them, they could even be as powerful as the Steelwinds. Wait, don't tell me you think we're dealing with one of the 4 pillars. 4 pillars? It's a name people use for the top 4 noble houses. These families stand at the top of the kingdom's aristocracy. If I can recall correctly, the 4 pillars are House Fregra, House Sanctus, House Silby, and House Steelwind. Steelwind is part of one... Steelwind is part of one of them? Yeah, which makes it so much weirder that she's serving as a prosecutor. What is it? Or, no, what is it? Yeah. Steelwind's weird behavior all started after she investigated this room. We are at the crime scene and she left to follow a lead. But an hour later, she came back to the lecture hall and booted everyone out. Her behavior changed after investigating this room. That means that she found something here. And that something must point to a family from the 4 pillars. The commander looks a bit anxious. You know, Steelwind's orders say I can't snoop around here. But you two on the other hand. Don't worry, just leave it to us. I have some school records that say which locker belongs to which student. You can use it to tell whose locker you're looking at. I like you. You're not a bad guy either. You're just trapped in the system. Oh, there's an arcane construct in the back here. Probably here to aid students. Anyways, I don't think it's relevant to our investigation. No, I think it is. Perhaps you should make a small note of it anyway. Yeah, no, I definitely think it is. Sometimes I get lost on Pinterest, scrolling through pretty outfits. I can't wear them, and they'll still make great inspirational character fashion. Yeah, I get lost in Pinterest finding pretty-looking food and drinks. So it's a female noble that has a danger something. Yep. Or I'm being all sneaky. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm not allowed, but I can give you all the info that I have. You look carefully across the list and find some notable student names. And let's just check them all. You open Wallace's locker. Inside you find a bottle of fragrant liquid and something that looks like a makeup kit. Huh, I didn't expect Wallace to use stuff like this. It does seem strange, but it's not your place to judge. That seems a little weird. Like, out of place. Anyways, you should try looking through the other lockers. I think Oren is just worried about the prosecution. Yeah, Oren is a good guy. He's just really frustrated because he can't actually... Like, he's not been able to prosecute any of the nobles committing crimes. But he occasionally, like, does get to prosecute, like, non-noble mages that don't use the system to make him look away. Use the legend that the commander gave you. Look carefully. You open the locker with Miriam Fragra's ID number. Inside, you find a stack of worn-out textbooks and notebooks. Wait a minute, these notebooks all have Wallace's name on them. Oh! It was told to us before that to tease him, they sometimes switch nameplates, so maybe Wallace and this person's locker got switched. You open the notebook and look through its pages. It appears to be research on the art of necromancy. These are Wallace's notebooks. But why are they in Miriam's Fragra's locker? Did Miriam steal his things? No, it's the bullying thing of switching number plates. What's going on here? Oh! Hey Shady! How you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. How was the Final Fantasies words? Let me just... Hello, have fun solving the things. I will. I might have too many times just paused to listen to music. But how are you all doing? For anyone who doesn't know me, hello, my name is Luna. I'm a variety streamer. I like to play strategic and colony builder games, but I also am a really big fan of Ace Attorney, so when I saw Attorney of the Arcane, I was like, yes, I want. So I bought it near immediately. I heard some neat dude wrote some of the music. Yes, I also heard some really cool Scrimdal guy wrote music for this. We really like him. The music is great, like genuinely, the art and the music are awesome. I heard one of the game's composers think, nah, couldn't be, no way. I'm so happy to be known as Scrimdal Captain. I don't know why exactly, but you are genuinely, like, my favorite Scrimlow man. Like, when I think of you, that is like one of the titles that is just in my brain. It lives rent-free there. So congrats. Let's go, top Scrimlow, yes. Recently found out the game reveals your computer username. Yes, luckily I kept very default settings, so the game just refers to me as admin, so that's good. I heard the composers for this game are really cool and attractive. It seems accurate. Does it actually? Yeah, it kind of scared us. There is a character here in the game that breaks the fourth wall, and at some point she referred to us as admin. And I'm really glad that I didn't set my computer to have my offline name, because I want to keep that to myself. I'm just Luna here. But yeah, we're investigating the case of the Walking Dead. So let's continue. We're trying to find out who the secret new witness could be that is apparently from a high noble house. Oh, quick thing. We are the defense attorney for a 16-year-old kid here that is accused of murdering someone with necromancy. The entire law system is kind of corrupt because any nobles that usually have magic that commit crimes with magic get away with it by using the system, but any commoners that have magic that use crimes for magic usually don't get a fair trial. So we're trying to give this guy a fair trial. And now we're trying to find out more details after we've had our first day in the courtroom on what exactly happened. Slight spoilers, but the real murder was the shady cicada. No, not our Scrimlow guy! Wait, I didn't know the game reached your username. I never noticed that, and I played past this part. It is with the little glitchy scenes from Eris. So it is very reasonable that it would quickly go past. I'm going to bed if you don't mind. You're not cute, but also go sleep. Sleep is important. Good night. Sleep well. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I'm not used to this many people, so if I missed your message, I'm sorry. Also, thank you very much for the follow, KF 1992. I did see it. Thanks, appreciate it. Also, no, I'm not streaming. Yeah, so it's like it isn't as crucial because, well, nobody else will be seeing it. I must also sleep in a sec, more tired than usual, so if I disappear, you know why. I will be listening though. Alright, well, have a good sleep when you do fall asleep, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for stopping by. You and Celeste check the locker more thoroughly. Wait a minute. Tyron, take a look at this. That's blood. Wait, what? What? Hold up, what? There's a stain of blood inside the locker with Miriam Friga's ID number. What? Use the legend that the commander gave you. You look carefully across the list and find some notable student names. You open Jane and Von Sanctus' locker. Inside, you find several bottles of some kind of transparent lotion. There's nothing but lotion in here. That is weird. Red herring? I have no clue. Oh. I wonder why a student would need this much lotion. Celeste seems to know. You take one of the bottles to inspect it more closely. Wait, Tyron, don't touch those with your hands. What? Why would... Is it some magic sword thingy? It's some kind of sanitizing liquid. It's a little strange, but it doesn't seem to be related to the case. Use the legend that the commander gave you. Let's not tell her. Tell her what? It might not be lotion. Maybe it's some alchemical component. Who knows? That's all. Not safe for- oh, okay, not safe for Luna. Then I won't ask any more questions. Very confusing, but we'll just move on. Inside, you find some textbooks and a neatly stacked deck of tarot cards. Ooh, tarot cards! Oh, it's like those cards that fortune tellers use. I wonder if this student studies divination magic. But anyways, I don't think this is related to the case. Use the legends that the commander gave you. You look carefully across the list and find some notable student names. Okay, but you checked everything. So, in Miriam Friga's locker, there is blood, but it also has all of Wallace's notes. But we also heard that to bully him, sometimes students switch his ID with other people. But then might this case be like a double red herring, where, I don't know, someone tried to frame him? So the commander is pretty sure it was not a red herring. Yeah, I don't know. We found a few things. I can't really make sense of any of it. We should look at this from the prosecutor's perspective. Still wouldn't find something in one of the lockers. This locker had the most suspicious evidence. Well, there was blood in there, so someone stowed like a sword. From what I've heard, Returning of the Arcane contains a scene. A whole scene? I mean, the prosecutor. Oh yeah, the prosecutor. And whatever it was made her extremely paranoid. I think she found a sword. So, hold up, whose was it? It was... flip, I already forgot all the names. Smooth brain strikes again. I think it was Sibyl. I guess it'll just let us try again. There, that one. No matter how we look at it, we found some insanely suspicious things in Freyka's locker. I forgot which names had which things in the locker. But yeah, all the lockers are a little weird. It had Wallace's notebooks and even some blood. That blood is certainly strange. It implies that something bloody was stored there, like a weapon, like a stabby stab. Like a sword? Do you think someone stole it? No, actually. I think it was Steelwind who took it. Oh right, Porter mentioned that she investigated this room. She must have taken the bloody item as evidence. But with that said, there's something else that's strange about Miriam Straker's locker. It had a lot of Wallace's possessions. It's possible that she really did steal these items from him. But it's more likely that this locker isn't actually hers. Remember what Wallace told us before? Ah, they're gonna mention it. Sometimes the other students would steal the ID number of my locker. Then they'd switch it with the number of another locker. They thought it was funny whenever the student who owned that locker got angry with me. So someone switched nameplates. This means that this isn't Miriam Frika's locker, it's Wallace's. Uh-oh. But that would mean that the bloody object came from Wallace's locker. It fears so. There's a stain of blood inside the locker with Miriam Frika's ID number. The locker actually belongs to Wallace. Someone must have switched the ID number with Miriam's locker. Can they accidentally open each other's locker? Like if she was in a hurry, she thought it was her own locker and stored her item in there? Because there's no way of us knowing. But if that's true, why didn't Steelwind present the bloody item during the trial? It proved that Bellwether was wounded before Valerie healed her. Clearly the item is not, like, they're probably belonging to that person. Wouldn't that have been the perfect time to present what she found? No, that would make another noble thing, I don't know. It's a bloody item found in the defendant's locker after all. She could have easily proved that the nameplates were switched too. Right, that is weird. There's something more to this than you aren't seeing. But what? I think we'll just have to ask Steelwind ourselves. Okay, I can only... Okay. Well... Is there anything I want to present to you? Hold up. Can I get your thoughts on... Actually, I doubt you'll have any thoughts on anyone. Although, what do you think? Those twins really screwed me over with what they did. Yeah, I wondered what he thought about that. They played you, my guy. Should be easy to check if that's the case. The lockers have sequential numbers. Yeah, so that's probably what's going on. We can't see it here in this example here. I don't see any numbers that are out of place. But we assume that it's somewhere here. Steelwind's going to hold this over me for a while. Yeah, I can't exactly blame you for what happened. Twins are such a rare occurrence. I doubt even the Inquisition has dealt with that before. Let's check the foyer before we continue on. Okay, that's just to talk to our person. Well then, let's go to the library. Oh, you're back. We've uncovered a few things during our investigation. Miss Steelwind, are you acquainted with a student named Miriam Frega? I underestimated him. I said it before, Mr. Hubert. I wouldn't fall for such an obvious bluff. It's not a bluff, Miss Steelwind. And I'll prove it using the evidence we've gathered. Harry Steelwind's psychological profile is complete. Oh, will I be in a debate? Mr. Hubert? Yep. That'd be his name. Yeah, I guess argument time. Steelwind is paranoid, and for whatever reason, it's due to the involvement of Miriam Fregra. If you couldn't convince her to reveal... If you could convince her to reveal why she's being so secretive, she might give you more information. Yes, we completed the psychological profile, so... Glowy eyes. Argument. Tense music. You've been behaving strangely, Steelwind. Even the Knights of the Inquisition have noticed. And we all know that they're not very observant. Please just tell me, why are you being so paranoid? Saxophone. I need to stop getting distracted by music. I'm not sure what you're trying to imply, Mr. Hubert. Nothing about my behavior has changed. I've approached this case objectively, just like I have with every other case. Steelwind is extremely logical and won't accept arguments that aren't supported by evidence. However, she has become secretive lately, and her actions seem to stem from paranoia. She's uneasy about the case elements that relate to Miriam Fregra, and she's very inclined to hide Fregra's involvement from the court at all costs. I know, it's so good. Yeah! Okay, nothing about How do I... This. You've ordered the knights to stay away from the crime scene. And you've even taken it upon yourself to conduct the investigation yourself. That is not normal behavior for a prosecutor. You took this action because the Inquisition is incompetent. Rude, but not... You're not incorrect. How could I possibly trust them with anything? The knights are competent, but even you can see the value of... The knights are incompetent, but even you can see the value of delegation. During Celeste's case, you still delegated tasks to the Inquisition, and you could have easily investigated the McCoy Tavern yourself. This academy is huge. You wouldn't conduct your investigation this way unless you had a good reason. Then why don't you enlighten me? Why would I act in such a way? What would cause me to behave so strangely? Okay, so then... This one. No, not that one. What kind of weak-willed person do you think I am? Something like that would hardly cause me to change my behavior. Okay. Is it then this clue? You know that the Inquisition is corrupt and will bend to the nobility. So what would happen if a powerful noble were publicly involved in this case? With that noble's influence, they'd probably order the Inquisition to conceal their involvement. A high-profile noble is involved in this case, Steelwind. And I believe that noble is Miriam Fregra. Again with this, do you think you can bluff me by throwing out the names of random nobles? Not every noble is a malevolent criminal like Garrick Pierce. I said it before and I'll say it again. My investigation doesn't have involve the Fregra. Nothing about this case has anything to do with House Fregra, and then we do the other thing. No, but it does though. Then how do you explain this, Steelwind? The commander told us that you were following a lead in the locker room yesterday. We investigated the lockers of students from the 4 Pillar families. And we found stains of blood in a locker with Miriam Fregra's ID number, and it was presumably left by a bloody object. The bloody object was taken by someone, and we hear that you became extremely paranoid after you found something in the locker room. If I had to guess, I'd say you took the bloody object as evidence. And what evidence do you have to support these outrageous claims? What? The only thing you have is evidence of a bloodstain. There's a myriad of explanations for that. Everything else you mentioned is pure speculation. I could have found a number of things in that room. Or possibly nothing at all. You can't prove that piece of evidence exists. Okay. Then I guess I need to rationalize. Let's not be coy, Miss Steele. Anyone can tell that bloodstain is the most notable thing in the room. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We're not gonna be able to threaten her. Rationalize. Let's not be coy, Steelwind. Anyone can tell that the bloodstain is the most notable thing in that room. Are you so sure? You weren't there with me during my investigation. As I've said, any number of things could have happened to change my behavior. Oh, maybe that wasn't the right move. This one then? Oh, I guess we do have to threaten her. You found an object in the locker with Miriam Fregra's nameplate on it. If you don't present what you found in the court, I'll have no choice but to pull the owner of that locker onto the stand. That's ridiculous. We both know that the locker in question belongs to Wallace Naggrave. Angie. Can you unequivocally prove that Mr. Steele... Can you unequivocally prove that, Miss Steelwind? Because the way I see it, there's a lot of room for doubt there. Enough doubt for me to pull Miss Fregra on the witness stand. And if I had more contacts, maybe I wouldn't have to resort to that. Don't do this. She Angie. Very not happy. Oh, the turns have tabled. The turns have tabled. I did initially want to draw more things for the thing, but the arting wasn't arting very well. I'm running out of buttons. There's only so many buttons on my keyboard that don't already do something. And many of these games already have like stuff bound to these buttons. It's really hard. Argument 1. Well played, Mr. Qbert. I suppose I don't have a choice, do I? You successfully persuaded Arya Steelwind. You could buy some more buttons. That looks more adorable than I... No! It is serious! I was thinking of giving the darkening on the face, but it felt like I might have done a bit of too intense of a head tilt. I'm not cute. The truth. Just so we're clear, I wasn't acting to protect the nobility. But I'll admit that Miriam Fragrant was the other witness who saw Bellwether that day. It's okay. It's not cute. I see. I had some suspicions, but... There's also another matter. Steelwind looks uneasy. When I was investigating the body, I found this. Evidence of academic? Academic. Wow. Language. I am... Academic. Academic. Come on, brain. We know this word. Academic. Come on. Okay, there we go. Tightly packed folder containing several documents. The documents contain evidence detailing multiple instances of plagiarism, fraud, bribery of school officials, and various other offenses committed by Miriam Fragrant. Oh, so Miss Bellwether... That's worrisome. Miss Bellwether probably tried to uncover Miriam Fragrant, because even though she is a meanie, maybe she wasn't completely bad. She probably had at least some standards. But Miriam Fragrant was like, well, actually, stab. What the... It looks like Miriam's been cheating at school. I understand why she's afraid now. Yeah, that is worrisome. But why would Bellwether have something like this? From the way it's arranged, I think it might have been blackmail. Miriam Fragrant is considered a prodigy in the practice of conjuration magic. Well, guess that house of cards is coming tumbling down if that comes to light. She won a litany of awards and she will most definitely graduate with honors. If these files were to reach the public, it would absolutely ruin her reputation. Do you think that the professor was trying to threaten her? It appears so. When I discovered this, several elements of the case were still unknown. I decided to look through her belongings, and I mistakenly looked through the locker with her idea. I found this in that locker. A rapier covered in blood. It was found in Wallace's night praise locker. Apparently it's a valuable family heirloom to House Fragra. Well, it was reported stolen by Miriam Fragra weeks before the murder. Okay. So, she's probably attempting to frame Wallace. But then the locker numbers got switched by someone, so that got a whole tangled mess. It's very likely that this is the murder weapon. This rapier is a valuable family heirloom for House Fragra. And a few weeks ago, Miriam reported that the rapier was stolen from her room. That's so fun. Yeah, some prank supposedly messed up her whole like plan to flipping frame him. Although of course we can now check like the like show very easily that the ID numbers was framed. It's just the fact that we're those two. I feel like Eris has something to do with it though. It feels too coincidentally. Someone tried to frame Frega and the name got switched coincidentally. Well, yeah, but it was technically in Wallace's locker, so... But yeah, it could also be that it was stolen to try and frame it, but then the fact that the sword was stolen would kind of throw like any suspicion off Frega, because she was like, well, my sword was stolen, it wasn't with me. Oh, that game Insane in the Rain did some of the soundtrack for? I believe so, yes. I know Shady, my favorite Scrimblow, did some of the music on, and I think... I can't check real easily. I think Insane in the Rain is the other person. So yeah, and the music is banging. They did an awesome job. And then it was found in Wallace's locker. Not that I'm complaining, but why didn't you present this in court? To be honest, I'd like to avoid involving House Freya by any means necessary. Yeah, but if you're trying to frame someone, you would go to the locker with the name of Freya, and if someone pranked before that happened, they might have accidentally framed the wrong person. True. Yeah, he is the other main musician. Okay, I thought I knew, but I wasn't, like, 100% certain, so I didn't want to say yes, definitely, and then be wrong. I knew it. You're just protecting her, aren't you? Celeste, calm. I understand, but calm. Miss McCoy, do you recall how Guard's justice system works? To acquit a defendant, you need to unequivocally prove that they didn't commit a crime. Guilty until proven innocent. To do that, they either need a solid alibi, or we need to prove that someone else committed the crime. What do you suppose will happen if you bring Miriam Freya onto the stand? House Freya won't allow one of its members to be indicted in a court of law. They'll plan to forge evidence to implicate your defendant. And they'll use the Inquisition to do so. I love medieval justice system. Yes, magic medieval world with like magic that kind of replaces technology. So that's why you've been keeping them away from the investigation. Aww. She wants justice. Can't you do anything? The Steelwinds are powerful too, aren't they? Oh, Steelwind protecting the Steelwind being nice. But also Steelwind probably doesn't have the backing of her family right now. I don't have the support of my house. Yeah, I had a feeling. Right now, I'm just a prosecutor, nothing more. Steelwind, you know that this isn't fair to us. You just do nothing. Do nothing and let us win. That isn't right either. Celeste. If you can't go after Miriam, then you can't at least help us save Wallace? I'm not going to do that. She said no. Why? What if Miriam Freya is the real killer? Her sword is the murder weapon, and Bellwether was trying to blackmail her. That you're right doesn't mean that you're gonna be, like... Being right doesn't mean you're going to have the other person and... No, there's a better way of saying this in Dutch. I don't know if it's in Dutch, in English. Er is een verschil tussen gelijk hebben en gelijk krijgen. It would be in Dutch. So there's a difference between being right and being acknowledged that you're right. I seem to recall another case where an innocent person's sword was used to frame them. And she has a point there. That's... As a prosecutor, it's not my place to decide who's guilty and who's not. She has a strong sense of justice. No fiddling with the evidence. I appreciate that. I wouldn't engage in corruption, even if it's to counter corruption from another noble house. I'm sorry. No, I think that's like, it's not ideal for us, but I think that's a fair standpoint. At least it's, like, consistent. It's not like, oh, but I want this person to be right. I think if you take the, no, we're not gonna fiddle with anything stance, that's more secure in the long run. You know where Miriam is right now? Didn't you hear what I just said? I disagree with her. That's fair. Like, there's a lot to say for both sides. You can't let her think that there's even the slightest possibility you'll indict her. She'll bring the entire wrath of House Freya down on you. Because she is fiddling with... Yeah, I suppose she is. Regardless, I can't do anything for Wallace unless I know everything that happened. Freya has the last piece I need to put everything together. Well, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Her dormitory is in room 107. I imagine she'll be there considering classes are suspended. Regardless of the reason for... Yeah. This is a bad situation all around. Thank you, Steelwind. If I don't tell you, I'm sure you'll probably just find out using some other means. But please, Mr. Kubert, be careful. I don't have anything else to present to her. Oh, spoopy. Oh, soft. You follow Miss Steelwind's directions and find Marion Freya's dorm room. Oh yeah, this is the I'm a Jerk Noble music. The door leading inside seems a lot more ornately decorated than the other dorms. You go to knock on the door, but you don't realize that it's only partially closed. Guess I'll go for a lurk, but I want to say, hope you enjoy the game. Thank you! I have been enjoying it a lot. And have a nice lurk. If you think that's fiddling, you just wait. Oh, that's the gold room of my teenage dreams. It is very, very black. As she first comes into contact with the wood, you accidentally push the door wide open. Oh, she has cute clothes. But she did not appreciate that. Disgruntled student. Excuse me? How dare you barge into my room? These insects have no respect. Oh, and your art is so cool. I've seen so many shady... Thank you. I really appreciate that. But, I mean, it's fair for her to be angry. I also would not appreciate someone barging into my room, even if it was an accident. Sorry, I meant to knock, but... Construct, remove these hoodlums from my room. Thank you for the follow, don't panic. Agreed, Luna's art. No, she's... You can't double team me. That is... No, triple team me. That's 3 people. It's illegal. Cease. Luna's... No! Arjen? Get flustered. I don't know the art. Screw you! Then you can't go. How dare you come in here and fluster me like the entirety of my chat is doing? You're all conspiring against me. Luna, short circuit. Yeah, you're doing it on purpose. Thank you for the follow, Tapaccio. I already thanked and panicked, and I shortcutted. All memory from the last 10 seconds has been scrambled now. Y'all. Happy smug bastards, you. Yeah. She's not beating cute alligator. I'm not. Jeez. She also Anki. Let's focus on the other Anki. Acknowledge. I don't like her outfit that much. It looks off. From the corner of the room, an arcane construct stands up and starts making its way towards you. In-game character. Ah, yeah. I had a feeling. It's good that you specified. Before you can protest, it raises its fist to hit you. Wait, no. Oh. Yeah, we have a bodyguard. Celeste is real cool. Ooh, look at the swoosh of the hair. I really wish I could look at the art of the game, like, outside of the game. But the, I did look into the files. It's not in, like, in unformatted files. It's like, it's... You can right click. Oh! Well, that's good to know. Still, I can't pull the files directly from the folders, but I could at least go back and... I don't have that many slots. I can get you the raw file. I'd love you forever. Okay, maybe that's a little much. If you add like a lot of non-nons to that, I'd love you forever. But I thank you. That would be really, really awesome. She has a cool sword. She does have a cool sword. And she's also just really cool. But I'd really love that because I love the art here and I want to do an art study of it, but it's kind of hard to do an art study for like, if you can only pull screenshots. You only have enough time to raise your arms and brace yourself for the impact. You close your eyes and wait for the blow. But instead, you hear the clang of steel against steel. Okay. Let me know if I need to send you anything. I don't know if you have this game or if you need certain files to unpack, but yeah, that'd be really awesome if you could get the art. Would also help with thumbnail images, because I had to edit a screenshot I took. So if you look very close at the thumbnails I made, you can see some like, I colored over where Tyrone was, so I could put myself there. Ooh, she Angie. Confused, you open your eyes and see Celeste standing between you and the construct. They all have the head tilt. Look, I'm one of them! Her sword is drawn and she's using it to block the construct's fist. Swooshy. I do like the swooshy of the hair. A gasp. Send me a message on Discord and we'll discuss in the detail. Okay, I'll do that after stream. Thank you very, very much. Upon taking a close look at Celeste, the student stares curiously at her. Construct, stand down. And she went immediately to knife. Like, I think the folding of the clothes looks so good to me. But also, she is very quick to send a construct after us. I don't like you much. To be honest, I really like Miriam. I think her design is cool. Although, her black room is kind of interesting. Oh, she looks cute when she smiles. Yeah, that's making me suspicious of her. She was really, really ready to have a metal suit of armor just beat the snot out of us. Acknowledged. I guess it's technically Bellwether's voice, but I just feel like it needs a deep voice. I can fix her. No, she's probably a murderer. I'm terribly sorry for that. I wasn't aware this was your servant. Wait, what? Hold on. What's going on here? Angie. I want to knock against the construct's chest. Make a ringing sound, cause metal? Les looks angry but puts away her sword without a word. I haven't noticed you around campus. Are you a new student? If she has a personal attendant, she must be important. Hold up, Wait. Yes. She thinks Celeste is a student. Interesting. Maybe she can sense she has magic? It looks like it would make the great bang... Yeah, that would be a good metal sound. Right, she smiles because she thinks you're important now. No, she thinks Celeste is important because she has sword, I guess. What? You see an opportunity. Yes, my master just enrolled here recently. Wouldn't that be mistress? What? Celeste gives you a puzzled look, but you make a silent gesture back. After a moment, she seems to realize what you're doing. Yes, I just started here. I take it you're Miriam Fregra? Yes, I'm honored that you recognize me. And there we go. There's a little sounds outside, one moment. Mistress has too many other connotations, I guess. It has? I mean, I guess in this day and age, it's kind of strange to call anyone either mistress or master. Even though prior it would also just be referring to someone that is like on that like different skill level, like if you're studying under someone. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, miss. I'm Celeste. Celeste She catches herself and pauses for an awkward moment. Steel with... Whoa, what? Wouldn't she know all the steel winds? That is a very bold lie, Celeste. Not safe for Luna. Oh, mistress can mean a man is cheating on their wife. Oh. English has so many implications for words, it's confusing. But Celeste, that isn't... Are you sure about that lie? That seems very easily... If the steel winds are that big... I mean, unless they're huge... You can't believe her. There's no way she's going to believe. Steel wind? It's a pleasure to meet another member of such an esteemed house. She must be from a branch family. Maybe I can use her. Ah, so I guess the steel winds are very big. There's either not much going on in this hand, or the steel winds are actually very huge. Wait, she's actually buying this? I'm just moved in, and I thought that I should introduce myself. Seeing that you're a top student in the field of conjuration... Conjuration. Yes. Well, there's no backing out now. This seems bad. Also, I don't know if there's thunder outside or someone is rolling their thing. Miss Fregra, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions about... Yeah, and she's gonna shut you down, buddy. Conjugation. Oh, that's what she said. Excuse me? I don't believe anyone has permitted you to speak. Oh, here we go. Celeste is still smiling, but you can faintly hear her gritting her teeth together. Oh, she doesn't like this. So, we heard about what happened to Professor Bellwether. I can't believe it. Yes, it's quite tragic what happened to her. I'm totally sad. She has always been an acquaintance of House Fregra. She appears to be more receptive to Celeste. No, you don't say. It might be better to let her take the lead on the questioning. We heard that you saw her on the day of the murder. Could you tell us more about what happened? Oh, you heard about that from your relative, didn't you? If you don't mind me asking, why are you so interested? She's not like Arya, is she? Oh, you know, I'm just curious is all. You know how an eventful life can be sometimes. Being a noble and all. Alright, tone it down. Oh, is that all? I was worried you'd be going down the same path as the poor, confused Arya. What does she mean by that? But I'm in the middle of a study break anyway. I suppose I have some time to sate your curiosity. Construct, please prepare some tea. Use that lotus tea we imported from the Eastern Kingdoms. Could be useful if I can win her favor. Acknowledged. Lotus tea? You have lotus juice? You feel like you're slowly losing control of the situation. I heard that you saw the professor on the day of the murder. Where did this happen? I was in the hallways when I saw her coming out of her headmaster's office. I do want to construct. Same. If it can cook. And we're kind of scared to be in that room. True. Or would be kind of scared to be in that room. Yeah, it would be kind of weird, but also, if I could order it to make me tasty food. Like... that... She was heading towards the library. Do you remember what time this happened? I'm not really sure, honestly. It's a little embarrassing, but I have a bad habit of getting too absorbed in my work. Sometimes I'll let entire hours pass by without noticing. Do you have a rough idea at least, Tyrone? She's not gonna respond to you. I think it was in the morning. I guess she is now. She thinks it was in the morning? But anyways, did anything seem off about her? Well, the scariest part of that room is very much Miriam. Yeah, there's nothing in that head of hers but magic study. Yeah, I don't think so. I think part of what is in that head of hers is murder. I mean, this girl and the construct. Exactly, the construct is this. Yeah. No, it was a short encounter. Scared. I merely greeted her and she responded in kind. Or at least that's what should have happened. That thought just now, what does it mean? You slowly glance at Celeste and catch her attention. In small motions, you shake your head to indicate that Miriam is holding something back. Were you and the professor really on good terms? I heard she was pretty mean towards the other students. Towards the riffraff, maybe, but not to students like us. She was a great ally to the House Fregra. Or at least she used to be. Oh! Bellwether might have turned. Interesting. That's why we're planning on appointing her as the new headmaster. Wait, what did you just say? Did you just say that your family was going to appoint Bellwether as the new headmaster? Oh, I'm surprised you didn't know. House Fregra holds several seats on the academy board. We were making plans to have her replace that loud Redmond. You were going to sack the headmaster? Did Headmaster Redmond know about this? Oh, of course not. That was part of a large-scale plan. Along with Redmond, we were also going to replace all of the staff with arcane constructs. We had to keep everything under wraps, or else the help would have left prematurely. And where would that leave us? But Jan supposedly overheard Bellwether talking about the constructs. Did Bellwether prematurely reveal the plan, or was Jan lying about how he found out? Bellwether might not have actually supported this. Bellwether, even though she might have been mean to students, might have also not actually wanted this thing with the no... Like, that's interesting. Like, oh, sorry. Grabbing waters next to my mic arm. So what we learned from Bellwether is that she was really mean to the students and that she also was in the nobles' pockets. And that supposedly they were going to replace all the workers with the arcane constructs and sack the headmaster. But from what we're learning now, Bellwether had dirt on Miss Fregra here and might have not actually wanted, like, to be in an alliance anymore. But alas, with Bellwether gone, we'll have to delay our plans. So we heard that Arya took your rapier as evidence for the case. Can you believe her? She still won't give it back to me. My father will have my head if I can't get it back soon. It would be a good motive for her to blackmail Fregra. Yeah. How did it even become a part of the investigation anyways? I don't know. Arya won't tell me anything. I swear if that necromancer was the one who stole it, I'll execute him myself. So someone did steal it from you? Yes, from right on out of my room. When did this happen? If it can prove she didn't like it, yeah. Although that still wouldn't, like, it would give a motive to Miriam, but I don't think that would be enough. About a few weeks ago, I noticed when I came back from one of my classes, and someone else I wondered about. Someone removed the rapier from its display case in my room. How did they get into your room in the first place? Do you think someone used magic to teleport past the door? Please, I'm a master of conjuration magic. If someone attempted that, my enchantments would have shunted them out. That means the thief came through one of the doors or windows. I bet it was that necromancer. I'm sure as a street child like him just knows how to pick a lock. Ooh, jeez, like, I'm angry. I'm angry on the inside, how dare you? But I can't show my anger right now. I can fix her. No, I don't think you can. She probably murdered someone. And also blackmailed. That forced smile. It's a very good forced smile. I've heard you're one of the Academy's top students. Your grades must be amazing. She's good. Of course. As the inheritor of House Fregra, my grades are impeccable. Feels good to have my greatness recognized. That's strange. You don't see anything contradictory through the eye this time. You make a gesture towards Celeste to continue pressing her. Oh, what kind of magic do you study here? You must be joking. I study magic from the School of Conjuration. Just like most members of my house. The School of Conjuration. That's the type of magic that specializes in spatial manipulation and teleportation, right? Yes, I consider myself quite the expert in that field. By the Crown Prince himself, he has asked for my assistance in research study. So nice to work with someone of my caliber. From her thoughts, it doesn't seem she actually, like, was fraudulent with her grades. Not the construct stole the rapier. Yeah, someone could have, like, ordered the construct to do so. Although, like, please don't reveal too many things to me. Like, I do like thinking about the game, but I also like solving the issues myself. I do love that Celeste and Tyron are working well together like that. Her guiding the witness thoughts while he reads them. Yeah, although Celeste doesn't know he can read thoughts. She just knows that he's very observant. I didn't reveal anything. Okay, yeah, fair. I just wanted to, like, remind you. Like, in case the... And I wasn't sure. Again, you don't see any thoughts that contradict what she's saying. Does that mean she's not lying? Is she smart enough to get the Crown Prince's attention? Why would she be cheating? You said something about my wayward relative before. Are you talking about Arya? Oh, I'm terribly sorry if I offended you. You totally are. But I'm sure it must pain you to see the way that she's been acting lately. Yes, it's been extremely hard. Hanging there, Celeste. Doing so good. Oh, that's my timer. That's my... Don't forget that you need to eat sometime, timer. Which means we have 20 minutes to go, like, find a good point to do our lunch break. Did you know that she's even interrogated me about the murder yesterday? Can you believe it? A steel wind running around a crime scene like a common night. What? Why, if I tried something like that, my father would disown me. She's feeling anger. Does the nobility not approve of Steelwind becoming a prosecutor? No, I don't think they do. You always thought that it is strange. What is motivating her to do this? Honestly, she probably thinks she can do anything just because of her betrothed. Master deserves better. Oh? I'm trying not to say too much because I've gotten further in the game. I appreciate it. Because part of the fun of these games is like figuring out stuff yourself. And though I really love like talking about speculation, I also don't want to be accidentally spoiled. Oh, yes, there's something interesting going on. Alert. Celeste's eyes perk up upon hearing this. You'd be lying if you weren't also curious about who this Aster is. Mystery is a big part of fun. Yeah. But you shoot her a stern look that tells her to stay focused. You can't risk blowing your cover for some gossip. You have an arcane construct in your room. I like speculating, but I've never played or seen this game. Okay. I thought they only had them in the library and the locker room. This construct was a gift of the house von Sanctus. I have to say, they're quite convenient to have around. They look really cool. Maybe I should get one. You should. A construct would be far more useful than this attendant of yours. This is the... Oh, wrong button. This is the I'm in pain smile. This is the... If I didn't have to play along, I'd gut punch you. Rude. Very. Unfortunately, there are still some issues with their intelligence. Their intelligence? There are issues when you give them complex commands. It might be easier to show you. Miriam turns to the construct and begins gesturing towards it. Construct, please retrieve my textbooks and bring them here. Then, cast Steel Wind Strike at this location. After that, retrieve some plates and set them out at this table. Acknowledged. What? The construct stands up and retrieves Miriam's textbooks from one of the shelves in the room. It brings them to the table you're sitting at, just like she ordered. But then, it suddenly stops moving. Wait, what happened? The construct obviously can't cast Steel Wind Strike, so my second command was impossible to carry out. But did you notice something else? It ignored your third command too. Correct, my third command was possible to carry out. So why did it ignore that command? Constructs execute a series of commands in the order that they are given. But let's say one of those tasks is impossible to complete. When the construct gets to that task, it will deem the entire series impossible to complete. So the voice might be different on this one. Coding issues. Yes. Coding issues. As a result, it will stop executing the series altogether. So if I ask in a series of commands, it's impossible, then the command will interrupt the sequence of commands. Ah, yes. Coding. That's syntax. Exactly. Lady Steelwind, I'm afraid you must leave now if you want to make our next engagement. Oh, right. Let's go, servants. Oh, leaving already? It was a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, sure. I hope to see you around. You make your way back to the foyer with Celeste. With all the time you spent, you only have a brief amount of time before night falls. Are you sure you didn't want to talk to her more? We were getting a lot out of her. We already got a lot of useful information out of her. The more time we spend with her, the more likely she is to see through our ruse. Right. So, why Steelwind? I don't know, I panicked. Arya is like the only noble I know. What about Pierce? I'm not using that creep's name. Well, hopefully Steelwind doesn't mind us borrowing her name. We're totally just like an offshoot. Yeah. And we got her statement on what she saw that day. And there's also what she said about her rapier. I bet she was lying when she said it was stolen. She was probably trying to establish an alibi. I'm not so sure. Why do you say that? Doesn't it feel too obvious? Yeah, I'm starting to think my first the hunch heiress might still be the one. And she's just trying to frame trying to frame her. She was lying about the rapier being stolen. That would imply that she planned all of this in advance. But if she had to choose a murder weapon, why would she choose something that literally has her name on it? I'd understand if the murder was a spur of the moment, and she just used something nearby. But if this was a premeditated murder committed by Miriam, a rapier would be the last weapon she would choose. I'm not sure who it is, but I'm getting an idea of how. Yeah, I mean, from the moment we saw those constructs, I was like, yeah, it was definitely construct involved. So I think one of the constructs got the order to like stabby stab. Or at least was used as a like with an illusionary thing to look like Miss Bellwether, because they have Miss Bellwether's voice, so they could shout "be quiet." Right, I guess that makes sense. There's also the evidence of academic dishonesty. It doesn't match up with what we heard from Miriam. Yeah, I don't think Miriam is actually dishonest in her things. Like, there was no counter thoughts. You mean all that stuff about working with the Crown Prince? Aris might be involved, but I mean, Aris is definitely the most suspicious person. She was probably just making things up to look good in front of me. I have an insight when it comes to things like this. Under normal circumstances, I can usually tell when someone is lying. And a lie as grandiose as that would be something I would definitely see through. People can subconsciously shield themselves from the eye of Horus, even if they don't know about it. But when they do that, you usually can't see any thoughts from them. You also saw that she was lying about her encounter with Bellwether. You wouldn't have seen dissonant thoughts if she was lying about her grades. Well, I guess I'll trust your insight. But what does this mean? I don't know. Even with everything we found, I'm still not sure who the real culprit is. Could it be Aris? I think it's Aris. Aris might be involved, but I'm not sure if it's her alone. I don't know, with the academic evidence being a hoax, probably, I don't think Miriam would actually be involved. I think Miriam, like, see, what I think might have happened is if this mind control stuff is real, Bellwether might have been mind controlled and Miriam had a bad, like, interaction with her. But I don't know. She may be dishonest in some matters, but she's not academically dishonest. Yeah. There's a lot of weird things. At the very least, I think we should still try to pull Miriam onto the stand. If she testifies in court, I might be able to find something I can use. Risky move though. That's big maybe. If you don't play your cards right, you might spook the Freygras enough for them to pay off the judge. Oh no, but there are other people than Aris and Miriam in the school. Yes, but due to murder mystery game reasons, it would be very weird to have a murderer that was not introduced. And I don't think it's the kitchen maids. I don't really think it's Jan. I mean, I guess it could be Jan, but it would be weird for it to be Jan. And I don't think it's the headmaster either. Hello Ruru, how you doing? Either way, it's getting late. We'll probably have to turn in soon. Yeah, you just hope you did enough to acquit Wallace. I'd like to save, yes? Oh, rip. Scrolls very fast. Yeah, save. Waking up. Oh, actually, I don't trust the head. Ah, fair. I guess the headmaster is also a little... Court is now resumed for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. And let's review the proceedings from yesterday. Oh, look at this. So, new chatters? New chatters. We got a raid. So, we... You know what? No, don't teach them. They've already been shown. They don't need another... Hi. I'm not cute though. How dare. I'm gonna continue. Nice, they know. Yeah, 10 was... don't double up the... Y'all conspiring against me. How dare. How dare. I'm not new. Yeah. 10 is not new. But a lot others are. Words, things. We're gonna continue for a little bit longer, but then I need to go eat. I'm half thinking like, should we take a small break here? But let's go into the trial a little further. It was revealed that the trace of necromancy may not have been left by the defendant. And push-ups. One moment. Here. Okay. Push is done. Little more. It may have been left by a witness who used necromancy to attempt to heal the victim. However, the victim was seen by witnesses well after her time of death. This could only be explained by the defendant using necromancy to animate the victim's body. Yes, that is totally the only explanation in this world of magic where illusions are a thing. Or someone could have illusioned themselves to look like her. This leaves the question, where did the murder take place? Only, yeah, very strong wording there, mister. Does the prosecution have an answer for this? High-fived. Based on several witness testimonies, it is very likely that the murder took place in the library. Interesting. What led you to this conclusion, Miss Steelwind? First, I'd like to remind the court where the victim was sighted before the body was found. I'm looking forward to the cross-examinations, although it's a shame we can't cross-examine the rich lady. Which one? Steelwind or Mariam? Or another rich lady? Because there's many rich ladies in this. It began when the victim had a meeting with the headmaster near the center of the building. Our meeting was scheduled for 12 p.m. According to my schedule, that day our meeting lasted for an hour. This brings us to the statement of the next witness, a student at the academy. Okay, but we're gonna probably try and pull her on the stand to cross-examine her anyway. The student saw the victim walking the hallways. I saw her coming out of the headmaster's office. She was heading towards the library. Prosecution would be funny. Yeah, I was already confused. Which means that our first witness saw Bellwether leave the headmaster's office. Presumably, this would have happened after her meeting there, which would time this encounter at around 1 p.m. The other event is the discovery of the body, which was when Valentina Janus contacted security. I suddenly spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood in the classroom. Valentina used the communication device to call for help whilst I tried to save her. As we already established, this event occurred at 3:04 p.m. But the significance of this time is what occurred before the body was discovered. A second witness, a member of the cleaning staff, spotted the victim in the West Wing hallway. Bellwether knocked over her face, and there were shards and dirt everywhere. It was probably 20-30 minutes before the twins found the body. Well, Luna, off to get ready for work. Goodbye, cute. I'm not cute, but have a good day at work. Take care. This means that this encounter must have happened no later than 2:30 p.m. And this implies that the victim was near the library between 1 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. According to the defendant's statements, he was in the library during this time period. Furthermore, the time of death was at 2:07 p.m. This means that the second witness must have seen the victim's animated body. I see. Your deduction certainly tracks, Miss Steelwind. Does it, though? What do you have to say in your defense, Mr. Kubert? And prosecution arguments is definitely well thought out, Your Honor. However, it is entirely predicated on the testimonies of all the witnesses involved. Ah, nice, a time schedule, yeah. Steelwind's deduction has to have a hole somewhere. And since your confrontation yesterday, you've had a feeling that Miriam is hiding something. If you want to get to the truth, you'll need to drag that out of her through a cross-examination. Your Honor, to test the validity of these claims, the defense would like both of these witnesses to testify. The defense calls Miriam Fregra to this— Oh, we are doing this! Oh, we are doing— Okay, well then, no going back. Frega. Oh, yeah, and ooh. And the mention of her name, the judge's face turns a bit pale. I had a feeling it would come to this. Do you have any objections, Miss Steelwind? I do not, Your Honor. Very well. Bailiff, please escort Lady Fregra to the stand. She is not happy. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the— You little snakes! How dare you deceive me? Oh, it looks like she found us out. Still winning Sister Shining over there. Just a big deep sigh. Yeah, she's like, well, it was nice living. I had the opportunity to brief the witness beforehand. Miss McCoy, for the record, I told you to exercise discretion. I did not mean that you should impersonate a member of my family. Yeah, sorry about that. I gave you all of the tea I imported from the Eastern Kingdoms. Oh no! Celeste took the lotus juice. Celeste! I demand that you return it to me. No, you gave them to me. They're legally mine now. Celeste, no! Celeste, you can't. She gave us all the tea. She did give us all the tea. I'm not sure what your business with the witnesses, Miss McCoy, but I'd ask that you please hand your personal disputes outside of the courtroom. Anyways, Miriam, could you please testify to the court about your encounter with the victim? Very well. Yoinked. Yeah, she's like, I gave you. Of course, it's the lotus juice that Celeste would be worried about. We're gonna read this testimony, but before we're gonna try and pull it apart, we're gonna have to take our lunch break. 5-finger discount. That's actually, yeah, it's under false pretenses, I think. I don't think that would be legal. I was working on a research project in my dorm room when I decided to take a break. I left my room and I went on a walk. That's when I saw Professor Bellwether exiting the headmaster's office. She was walking in my direction, so I greeted her and she responded in kind. After that, she headed towards the library. And I don't think that actually happened. I think it was much later in the day. I think she saw a fake Bellwether, and I think that Bellwether did not respond in kind. A short time after that, I went back to my room and I continued my work. I see, so it was only a brief encounter. However brief it was, the witness's testimony verifies two things. One is that Miss Fragrance saw the professor exiting the headmaster's office, or, well, maybe it was still the alive one, I don't know. The other is that she witnessed the victim head towards the library. This gives us a rough timeline of where the victim was before her death. That does seem consistent. Did Bellwether really enter the library that day? You feel like you would have seen her there if she did. Mr. Hubert, you may begin your cross-examination. So we're going to save. And we're going to go to the lounge. Okay, I think that's all. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and bye bye. I will see you all in a bit.